Alright, I didn't have the mic.
Oh, Christ!
Was that attack?
I didn't have the mic on when you were speaking.
Hey!
Well, the mic's the stage is trying to kill us. It's trying to kill you.
Slide over here.
Looks like it's about to succeed.
Help.
Scissors.
Please don't mind me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to position myself in such a way that I can actually fit in.
So while he's sitting down, I'd like to bring up a question. If you played as a construct druid and you cast druid craft, would you raise artificial grass?
Well, no, it depends. Like if you're going off of Warforged, they're also made out of wood and metal.
Artificial grass.
That was a good joke. I like it.
What if you were a construct made out of wood, and some druid like made the wood you were made of grow, so you had like extra branches coming off of this arm piece here?
They probably shift your damage to piercing.
Well, but like, what if you wanted to get rid of it? Would you take damage to get like? Would it
Take
be
it out.
painful?
Somebody
to remove?
prune me.
Holy cow. Hey, everybody. I'm Solros. These are my friends, unfortunately.
Oh my
Welcome back to our continuing game of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We are back in the world of Prune.
We are.
Actually, technically not. We're in the universe now at this point of Prune, right?
We're on the same. We're on the plot line. The
We're-
tangential
we're in the
parallel
right
plot lines.
We're in the right neighborhood. That's right, neighbor. We're in the right neighborhood. What dice am I using today?
The
I don't know
Four
the options
counterclockwise.
use
Or
not the one that kept rolling all them 20s last time.
Or counterclockwise.
So he opens the bag, whichever weighs 12, and then he just counts 4 back.
Oh yeah, because you have them in sets.
I do, yes.
Mine are just shoved into one bag.
Yeah, mine
That's
too.
how my whole life works.
But then I
So not true.
You have commission one, but I'll make it simple.
Commission one that you'll make at some point, she says. All right, so
oh yeah, just let me know what I need to pay for the materials.
is it in Discord? You're good. Posted in Discord
What's going on?
that we're live.
No,
Oh.
I posted that we were taking our time getting up because we were moving the whole world around.
So while I think we're ready. We're pretty much set up. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some little rundown here. So the ambrosia for today is going to be supernatural talent. For 200 biddies, you can give a player of your choice a 1d4 to an ability check of their choice, or for 300 biddies, you can give a 1d6 to an ability of their choice. Yuso handed out one the other day to Mr. Ma. So we did a contest in Discord for character design, and Mr. Huso won. Did fantastic. So he got to pick ambrosia to hand out of his own free will.
I think we'll
Okay.
have better prizes later on.
Yes.
This was just a test.
Yeah. It was just a test to see.
To gauge interest.
Yeah, interesting. I have some other evil plans, so that should be good. Good. It's on there. You got something right.
Yeah.
A little bit though.
I know. I got a whole lot more over here.
Oh hey, there's actually paint for that.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, I thought you used a Sharpie. You're just like over there.
That's
no one was
commitment.
looking.
That's commitment.
Well, it's wet erase, so it's fine, right?
Right. All right. Well, I guess I don't.
Yeah, I thought
The,
you were gonna do the whole-
Sharpies come.
Super important.
I learned that over Halloween. That's a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier with somebody else's than for you.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Gone Creasy. He subbed the other day. I don't know if he subbed while we were playing or if he subbed after the game, but
Oh my!
but he did sub. So shout out to you. I sent him a message, but if that link to Discord did not work, just shoot me a message so I can get you an updated one because I know they expire after a short amount of time. So
Super short. Like stupid.
right. So
minutes.
Do you want people to use your service or what?
with that being said, I think that's everything. Ambrosia. We're doing a giveaway, D&D related giveaway at 200 followers or 10 subs, whichever one comes first. So if that interests you, tell your friends, get them to follow or do whatever. The commands. There's only one command working right now due to some shenaniganery, and the currency is gone
Oh
for
no!
everyone. So I'm going to be dishing it back out.
Do you have anything? No player stamps? No nothing? Steve's gonna be upset.
Well,
Huso, what is going on, buddy? So if you type !souls, you will get nothing right now.
So don't type it.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
It's a
what,
target
what command is working?
giveaway.
Oh, Gibble. Gotcha.
I had to re-put it in, but for whatever reason, it claimed that you could do stuff from backup, and then it fibbed. Oh, it fibbed. All right,
So
so
goofed on you.
you did. With that being said,
Just a
I need this, and we'll go ahead and get us right into the thing. So, as a quick recap to the storyline, our intrepid band of adventurers had entered the realm of the Dreamsphere and discovered within a childlike landscape of adventure, where upon kind of messing with the terrain a little bit, you discovered that a small child by the name of Cameron, calling himself Cameron the Hero, needed assistance in defeating Cameron the Hero.
That dude need a lot of assistance.
Hey,
He needed
Boring
assistance.
hero name.
I'm really glad I had high charisma.
He needed assistance in defeating his nightmare bully, the
Mine's
evil
not bad, I forgot.
Grady. So, with your combined efforts, you guys coaxed him into successfully. I think he one-shot him. No, it was like a two swing.
It was a battle.
It was a
Yeah,
battle.
that was
bad.
no.
It was
What do you
a- it was
mean? That was
Yeah, well, no. Cameron only hit him twice.
Oh yeah.
I
The
broke a
rest of us.
I mean, I'm at 10 hit points.
The rest of you were getting shoved around a lot because he could shove people.
Because at first it did no damage, and then it was we did a lot of damage to him, and he got upset.
Let me know if the audio quality is wonky or anything like that. This is a new setup, and
And we have control over it.
we have
now.
control over
It's
it.
not just a
So,
mic in the middle of the room.
if
Not that it ever was.
if you guys have anything, just let me know, and we'll make some.
Also, if you've noticed, our backgrounds are
Yes,
the same.
I did see that.
Well, Matt.
We're getting there.
We are getting
Pro
there.
stream quality just around like 4 more corners.
All those, all those
Really
biddies.
blocking out there.
All those biddies help, and we appreciate everyone.
Mhm.
They do.
Every single one goes to upgrading the set.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where's all the players? There's Ciliana. Got to get all your little tokens
No
out.
money off of this.
Yeah.
Nope.
That was a decision made very early on. And
All
we were
right.
all happy
1,
with
2,
it.
3. There's 5 of you. Okay. Now I need 2 placeholders for the Wari.
If you got a dumpy bitch.
Yeah, we have a little this guy.
We have a dummy bitch.
Oh, I gotta be
That'd be you.
gray? Okay.
Hey, you guys didn't decide to paint it, so.
You don't have a. I don't think we have another.
You know how I paint? With a can that sprays from the top, so it's probably for the best that I didn't paint many. Mine's the orange one.
You're going to do the eyes now. Just say
No,
no
no.
with precision.
You do a coat. If you want 2 colors, you talk to a painter. I'm a carpenter. I
No,
can
when you
put
go to,
one
like-
color on something. Any more than that
You
is
go to-
outside of my
You go to
can.
spray paint it,
Well,
just
if
pass it over.
If his
You're
character was
on
bigger,
12
Okay.
that one's actually painted.
Yes, that was kind of the goal. So with that being said, they had sound comes really nice. It doesn't sound like you guys are talking in a cave anymore.
Sweet.
Cool.
Oh good.
You're a cave.
Oh, okay.
Whisper from across the room.
That crown did not last long, huh?
No, I had to.
It fell.
I had to keep doing things.
You need to make it bigger.
Oh wait, that's
Yeah.
supposed to go on the inside.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
so. So anyway,
We got crowns from no
from non
Sandwich Queen.
From,
Oh.
I don't think it matters. to say it.
It doesn't matter. They're not sponsored.
They're not them. It's okay. I hate them anyway.
They have nice
We
crowns.
just lost our sponsorship.
So during the already.
You know I was gonna.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
So during the encounter with Grady and Cameron the Hero, Theta was. I think you were woken up. Or no, you.
My bed broke.
Yeah, his bed broke, so he shot awake and unfortunately woke up prior to the
Then
end.
I went down and drank.
Ma was punched unceremoniously out of the dream.
Punch
so
the
he was-
consciousness.
Yeah, he was punched to consciousness.
Yep.
Rashid, Zongak, and Ciliana, however,
Made choices.
remained behind, saved
Everybody made
saved the day, fixed the dream. At which point they discovered they were attempting to escort the small tapir-like creature Qua out of the dreamscape, and they found the portal he had used to enter at the bottom of a well. And then Rashid dove in like a cannonball. Zongak pushed Ciliana, and then he followed shortly thereafter. And that is where we ended that is where we
I hate
ended
opening.
with those
Stay too
characters.
close to the well.
I get the decision to get my decision robbed from me.
You guys awoke.
Yeah.
No.
You were all awoke. You all awoke.
We're
In
not thinking kids
an
gonna
open
shit.
expanse of land. Amongst you, the sky is a darkened color. It's like this deep sort of purples and pinks that kind of like swirl and move. Right now, it looks like nighttime. Stars everywhere.
Take that, viewers at home.
There's a thunderous echo.
Sorry about that, guys. Above you, darkened skies. The sky is a swirl of purples, pinks, very light, sort of silvery wisps occasionally. It's starlight currently. There doesn't appear to be any noticeable or recognizable constellations. You guys, as you kind of stand up from the floor as you basically awoke in that laying position that you fell asleep in initially. When you stood up, you were holding the dream sphere and noticed that it felt surprisingly pliable under your fingers, this like squeezing sort of sensation, at which point, as you were kind of like, what the hell is that? You just felt,
Yeah.
and then there was just a claw holding your hand, eating the fruit out of it.
No, dude. Wait, we need that to. Don't. Is it gone?
Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Your hand's just kind of like
I mean,
that
yeah.
slimy residue, but it
Still wait
smells,
for like an hour and a half.
it smells sweet, like a fruit, some sort of fruit. And as you smell it, it smells like, it's kind of like sticky and nectary, and you see him kind of like, his little snout is just kind of like moving underneath as he's like,
Christ.
Wow.
Can we go see your parents?
someone else pointing at people as he sniffs them. He's kind of like standing there staring. As you all kind of like stand up, you have this moment of this awkward silence of him just kind of like slurping up the remaining like. You get a full glance of the world around you. Currently, right now, you're standing in what appears to be these almost like corn stalks, these tall stalks with large leaves, and they currently dangle off singular dream spheres. These plump-looking fruit hang in various stages of growth throughout this open expanse. It's a little squared-off area. And as you stand there, you see that you're standing on like beaten earth, very meticulously, carefully beaten down, patted down ground. On the other side, you see large fields of grass in various colors, ranging from green to, various shades of green, extending all the way into the pastels before becoming like blues and weird other colors. And it just kind of like waves back and forth in a breeze that you don't feel, that doesn't seem to come. The temperature out right now, as far as you can tell, is easily like that sort of like weird ambience where you don't really like feel it. You can't really tell it's there. You're not getting any like breeze coming to or fro, so there's no real. You kind of just feel like normal, comfortable.
Would you say it's a pretty dreamy temperature out?
But Mike.
No one gets to talk.
It's line 2, I believe.
We'll just like turn that line off. Sorry.
It's probably distortion. Somebody hates that table when they talk.
Worth it.
What was it?
You can silence me, but you can't silence the truth.
So as you guys,
It's an evolving game structure, man. It's going to change every time we talk.
as you guys look around, you're greeted by. You can hear. At first, you hear nothing, almost like an echoing ambience of nothing, just like that, solo, like the low hum of nothing, essentially. Hits in my mouth. And as you look around, though, you begin to hear a strange sort of like you can hear rustling, things moving through the underbrush, and finally you can hear some strange chittering from far off, bird calls. As the indigenous wildlife is maneuvering about.
There's just that one asshole honking bird.
Occasionally, like a bird will fly overhead. And as you look at them, they seem normal for the most part. Some look like little black outlines, like flapping wings, little flying M's.
The
in
V's
air.
in the distance.
Other ones look completely normal, very vivid. Other ones are random colors as they fly by. You're not sure if it's a sparrow or just a red pigeon. It seems it's jarring and disorienting because everything seems to have its own sort of color scheme that's unrelated to its size and shape. So you find yourself standing there. Quad just kind of stands there.
So, Rob, where are we?
I don't know. I just jumped through the hole.
I followed you. I made Ciliana follow you too.
Now that we're all here, we should probably figure out where this is.
Where are we right now?
Home.
For you, what do you know what home is for you?
Home.
Where are your parents?
I don't know.
Do they live here?
No. I live over there.
Okay, all right.
Can you take us to there?
Okay.
Take us to there. Let's go.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm very stressed. I didn't mean to stop.
He goes running up. He's at a slow trot. He's just occasionally you see though as he's running down this sort of beaten path, he runs in and you see his little snout kind of turn, and then he's just
Follows it.
and he kind of looks at a stalk that has a relatively plump looking.
Can I eat that?
No,
Why
no. That one. Points to a different one entirely. Grab it, pop it off.
not?
All right, so you shove it into your mouth. The first thing that hits you is the outside texture is sort of a rubbery skin. It's rough to the bite. It stretches way too far before finally giving
Kind
out.
of like mochi.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
it's mochi.
And then, so at which point, as you bite into it, though, this
Yeah. Nightmare.
this sort of sweet taste washed over your tongue. It has sort of the texture of almost like a soft pomegranate. So it's pockets of little globules inside that when you bite into it, they sort of individually break.
Caviar.
Right. And then as you kind of slop it around in your mouth for a minute, the taste starts sweet and then kind of mellows out into almost nothing. You're eating, it's just it's like a substance, but it no longer has a taste. And as you look at it, the fruit itself on the inside looks kind of gray and just drab. And you see the one that he's holding looks kind of more vibrant and plump. And he's just
Tried you.
no. He kind of starts running off again. This time you see him stuff it into his robes, into his sort of double layered cloth robes. Yeah,
He's not naked. He's
I
not
thought he was
a fucking
naked.
animal.
I don't know.
he's wearing a kimono. You need,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 layers.
In my head,
He has
you
an
were a geisha
interior
person.
robe and he has an exterior robe. It's wrapped around properly. It has the sort of short sleeves. It's wrapped around the middle with a giant thick looking cord that's multiple layers. Everything though that he's wearing seems to be made out of the same or similar material, a silken hybrid. It looks very comfortable. It's very soft. His little tail pops out from the back where it's divided in half.
It
You can see his little
starts sweet and
stubby
then it goes
feet.
to nothing.
They have little elephant type feet,
Right.
and then he has 3-fingered hands with little the wide sort of rimmed hoof like nails.
It's chewy.
And he just kind of shoves it in there.
Chewy, but not.
His little nose keeps going towards it, and then just runs away again, just takes off
This
once
is
again.
adorable.
You gonna take a bite of it and give it to Celia?
You just grab a random one.
No. He
Oh,
gave
you
me
got
his.
All right, so you take a bite of it. Again, yeah, you get that same sort of sensation. It starts off good, and then it just kind of mellows out before next thing you know, you just kind of have a wet slop in your mouth that doesn't necessarily taste bad, but just the texture kind of it's
It's
off-putting.
just weird.
You're I don't know if I like this or not.
You just ate a nap.
Yeah. Basically. Here's your thing back.
I'll lick it.
It starts sweet and then ends up being kind of nothing, almost like a water. I guess.
Holding it as we're walking.
As you hold it, it kind of
Yeah.
slops out slowly. The interior skin being the only thing that really holds the fruit together. Okay, you walk along behind you,
Just
just
casually.
slopping this trail behind you.
It's our breadcrumbs, so we know where we came from. It's fine.
So
It's
you
spilling.
you guys
Yeah.
continue.
It's still a fruit.
So where are we? Scamiliana.
I don't know. Apparently calls.
Philly Donna. Philly Donna.
Apparently calls home, but I don't really know. I don't have enough information to really discern. Yeah, where we are.
We're on the farm.
You notice that these little squares of plantation, these long stalks with their little
This is
leaves,
my favorite.
they're not
part.
as bushy as a stalk of corn is usually. It's like one or two leaves, and then at the top there's this sort of bend.
They're like sunflowers.
Yeah, like there's like this huge bend, and then it comes into a singular fruit, each stalk having one. You notice that they've been planted meticulously in a square pattern. However, the surrounding area is still grassland and grassland trees, and the trees seem to vary in size and shape from like redwood style massiveness to like the diminutive sort of tree off to one side, or on another end you'll have like an evergreen for no reason, but its leaves are purple and pink, or just bright red. There doesn't seem to be a sort of cohesion between them, and actually as you just kind of like look at the landscape itself, it's almost like it's been painted over, which is, again, as you move you can tell that it hasn't been, but after a while the random colors seem to blend into just like a mess into the distance. What we call draw distance, right? Like what you can actually
Your
see.
perspective.
Right.
It's that vanishing point.
And then mountains.
There are mountains, in the
Yeah.
distance.
That's how the silence work.
Oh,
It's stuff mountains.
Is the square pattern, is the square planting pattern meant to maximize watering speed? Is it like on the outside and then the inside of the square is hollow and then there's like another square next to it?
Like that plot.
Plain Stardew.
Right.
No,
See?
Harvest Moon.
Farm,
So the same thing.
Yeah.
farm, grass, trees, mountains. We're on a farm.
So with that being said, you guys travel in awkward silence, kind of enjoying the surrounding
Dreams.
atmosphere.
Zongak beat you.
Did you enjoy the
I
Johnny
said it was the exit.
Cry, Chess.
She did quite well.
Yeah. I
Don't
think
be used to that.
Constitution. Yeah, I think so. Don't say nothing.
All right. So as you guys maneuver through, we're going to cut over to our other two
Oh my God.
individuals. So life goes on, uninteresting, mostly as it has for the past years. You've lived here for quite some time in the village of Semra, the small sort of community, roughly about 60 or so Yuari, living in a sort of like communal area. You know that
Is that a small village or is that an average village?
it's for Yuari, that's like a good size.
Oh, it's like a city. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure what 60 meant here, so thank you.
You've heard rumors that there's a bigger one closer to the coastline, but never seen it. Most people wouldn't traverse the walk that far.
No, the path.
That's very dangerous. There's about 60 living in your small communal village. Occasionally one will go missing. It's not uncommon for them to vanish amongst the topography. You've been sort of like going through your standard motions. For you, it's about midday, probably about near noon-ish.
Antarctica like always dark.
Perpetually. It doesn't change. You don't sleep, you unwind. So as
I have a rocking
you
chair.
I
have a rocking chair.
Right. So as you maneuver through your daily paces, nothing really interesting seems to be going on. You've been kind of going through. The village chief has been hanging out in his home for the whole time. He hasn't really been doing anything too exciting. No one has. Let me get all the names of people for you. So you've greeted Naka, the village elder, in the morning. His sort of like old form as he walks around and greets people pleasantly for no real reason other than to kind of socialize on occasion.
Yeah, they're old people. They do that.
You guys have probably already started your morning rounds of tending the fields to see which fruits have ripened.
What's the village name?
Semra.
Semra.
Semra. Semra. You've tended your fruit. You've harvested any new silks that you can from your spiders or silkworms, respectively. And then other than that, you've just kind of perused the town, spending the day in any way that you see fit. Whether it's kind of loitering, playing with children, work hard, So what would you like to have been doing for your day?
Fucking Stardew Valley.
Plants.
You go bring a flower to the girl.
Yeah, I
You bring
want
her
to go find the
beer.
mayor's daughter. The mayor's daughter, man. You got to marry into money.
You mean the mayor's son?
Naka's family was killed years ago. He hasn't taken another mate since. But he has traversed from a different village. He was originally part of a different village that was sacked.
Give money.
Ooh, Noodle is following you on Twitch. What is going on? Also, that name is amazing. You have no idea.
You don't.
That has
around.
history in this
That
group.
has some
That
history
has
in
some
that.
history. We found him
Um,
finally, Dustin. We found him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
He found himself a computer and he's trying to type.
Oh, you got on the internet? That we
Yeah,
fucked up.
he found the internet
before him.
fourth time. Yeah.
Welcome
He
to the
just went
party.
forward in time. It's fine.
Then he gets down slowly so
I
that he
approve.
takes a nap.
I approve. So, as you, what were we talking about?
With money.
No, you don't trade in money. You trade.
Okay.
But most of the
That's
time,
cool. I'm good. That's all I needed.
okay, most of the time you actually get things for free. You give each other things that,
Communism,
yeah, as you need it. The small sort of community. There are a lot of children in the village. A lot of single URI
Because the
parents.
Constitution's
You've probably interacted with a number of the
everything just can't handle it.
kind of like more prominent URI here. Ty is always talking about how he met a Luxo once out in the wilderness.
Are those the elephants?
Yeah, the large guardians of the Dreamscape.
No one believes him?
Goddamn.
No one believes it?
No. That's nonsense.
Full of shit.
Um,
Can't be spinning those tails around the kids.
you kind of are all careful around Niche because she's a little weird since she's survived the longest in the walk without being without being eaten. So she's a little off occasionally. She occasionally looks over her shoulder in like a sort of way. And roughly about one-ish, or what would be the equivalent of, there's really no reason to tell time. You notice a group of the URI all going into the main farmlands to search for rotten fruit as a group to kind of maximize how fast it can be detected.
I'll join on that. It takes
Again, most of the
takes a
activities
town.
aren't mandatory in this place.
Sure.
So you gather up. You
Oh,
notice
another
that
bite.
I'll.
Slapping your hand.
Yep.
Yeah, it didn't get any better.
Dragging a little one with you.
The oldest one.
The oldest one.
Yeah,
How old?
12.
12.
So, just making sure that comfortable with it.
Methinks he protests too much. She protests too much. You pull her along, but she's reluctant. She could be doing any other thing that's not this.
It's going to be in our field.
So as you guys gather up, you see that the village elder is kind of standing there. He's got his little tiny arms behind his back. He's hunched, slouched over. He has this sort of like gray, brindley colored fur now. It's old. He's weathered, and his face sags in the corners near his long sort of nose.
Jealous?
The top of his hair is like now sparse and wiry and like going bald, even though the rest of him is covered in fur. He's just kind of like.
Just like a dog with a bald spot.
Good morning, everyone.
No fucking.
Oh,
We're gonna perform the walk to look for any rotten fruit.
Fuck.
So if you would all please kindly get in the line, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
You notice a couple of them kind of like they all position themselves. And most of the time, like most good groups, you partnered up side by side with people you know and kind of created a line, and you chitter back and forth about the daily musings. You know, this morning I saw a bird with a human mouth. It was so strange.
Jesus.
I legitimately forgot what I was gonna do. Like I had it and then I lost it.
Do the same twice. Just higher.
I had one.
I don't know.
Passed. I gotta get it back.
You broke him.
I wasn't ready.
Okay,
I wasn't
so
ready.
as you guys line up, I need both of you to make investigation checks, please.
None of those are D20. Unfortunately, that's true. There it is.
Perfect. That threw you off so hard.
Natural one.
Just a flat d20.
No matter what
No,
character.
investigation.
Investigation.
You got these.
Oh, you're using them.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Can it just be a flat d20?
9. So 1 9.
It
So
was
as
a
you guys
10.
as you guys walk through, occasionally you're distracted because you notice
Grabbing Glee.
you notice she as you go to grab her, she's like seeing that one of them is like ripe. She's like, and then kind of like
No.
pull her away. Not your palm.
Yeah.
She's like,
How are you?
Come on. For the rotten ones.
You've most likely experienced it in the past, at least you have.
Yep.
That rotten fruit is kind of the biggest threat to the village. For some of the creatures here, they've never encountered one that actually like went kind of nuclear in that pose, but it's the birth of a new dream demon or a particularly powerful nightmare creature.
Now, out of curiosity, can a good dream go rotten and pop out a good thing?
Yes.
Okay.
They certainly can.
Cool. Just, yeah.
An angel just.
It's a bad dream, though.
What the
It's literally a killing spree.
So it takes you guys about an hour, and
That's
as you guys
actual
are
thing.
traversing the field together in as a large group, what is your passive perception?
12.
Oh, hey, that's mine.
15. You're the first to notice. You see 3 strange creatures following a little Iwari that is currently running down the pathway.
Alright.
So he instinctively screams, sounding the alarm, which alerts you and alerts everybody. You see everyone kind of, they all kind of look in one
How
direction
old's
as
Qua?
they do. Qua's easily 7 or 8.
Do I see this happening?
You do not see it, but you hear everyone and see them all turn to one direction. So looking,
Snap.
they're looking.
Keep a hand on Glee, but I'm looking at a screen.
Looking for where it came from. Make a perception check. Make an active one.
What a passive one again.
As you look, you try to look in the
9.
crowd. They're sort of thinning out in front of you, and you're just trying to like see what everyone's looking at. You look to the skies instinctively, as that's kind of like the biggest.
Yeah,
So
flying dream demons. Fire.
At which point the village elder kind of like turns, and you see everyone kind of like looking around nervously and kind of fidgeting in place, not really sure. And he's like,
Alright, everyone, start running.
they all start like running back to the village, just kind of like beelining back into town. You particularly notice, since you rolled the highest of the two, you notice that
He's just the highest of the two.
you notice Maid. She seems to be kind of like squinting. At which point she's like, and then she starts like running towards it, but then she'll like stop, and then she'll like look around for someone else. At which point she calls out, Tony, Tony, and a male one comes running out and he's like, what's happening? And they both look, and you see the moment of recognition as they're like, and they kind of like latch onto each other like panicked as they seem to notice.
Do I see them?
You would see them as
I
everyone's
want to
running
run
back.
over to them.
I'll
Thanks,
slow
gripping,
and
gripping
approach.
Glee and dragging her with me.
What are you doing?
I am going to also approach.
Okay, so you guys approach and you see them both clutching each other, staring. That's Qua.
Oh.
3 strange creatures
3.
in the dark.
Oh
Pursuing
no,
the child.
Yes.
I'm gonna hand off Glee.
They kind of like instinctively, like Glee grabs on, panicked to the robes of Maid,
Dead run.
and you just, and he panically runs after. So you begin crossing the distance relatively quickly as you're to run, and they're kind of like stalking behind. Qua's like running like half-assed. He's like a trot.
Yeah, but
is
he's
the
always
best
a
way.
dumb kid. He doesn't notice.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, I'll
I know
trade
this
you.
child. He needs to be protected.
I'll trade you this feather.
He's still like
They're
running for the dreams.
Yeah.
He
Just
just
one bite.
When
Just the foreshadowing there for you.
How about this hat?
when we
It's
get
the chief's hat that's covered in bones.
when we get about 120 feet away, I want to cast fog cloud on like slightly behind Qua.
Okay, so as you run up, as you're kind of trying to, you pull out the headdress covered in skulls, and you see just this bone apparition portrayed in front of the crowd. And you see him kind of like lean back, like, and you hear, "Oh,
1 bite.
1 bite?
1 bite for
At
that.
which point, a fog cloud erupts around you.
I look at the helmet. I am.
And I'm going right toward the last place I saw
Oh,
Claw.
You can see him. He's at the outside.
Okay.
So he's standing
I am
basically
I'm
surrounded by fog.
beelining towards him.
He rolled really poorly. He's just standing there going, oh,
1 bite?
just one?
Sorry, I think my helmet did that.
What? Where are you?
I'm in.
You close the distance relatively quickly, and as you do, he's kind of just standing
Snatching
there.
Claw.
You grab him, and he's like, oh! And then he goes, oh. Hi. Hello.
What are you doing? And I'm going to turn around and start booking it back to his parents.
They're kind of like,
Yeah.
like flapping around. He's like, I'm playing with my friends.
Monsters are not your friends.
They're not monsters.
They clearly are.
Are they monsters?
Walking with.
As you keep running, he's like flopping, and then he's just like,
What are you thinking? Being out in the.
Come on, 1 bite!
You know what?
you're kind of just standing there like this.
I need a deity name to swear to, please.
Satan.
Do you have your text on?
Oh, you're texting.
I do, but it's way over there. Go ahead and text it to me. That's cool. I'll get up and check it.
Can you put it on my board and pass it over?
I was gonna say you could text it to me, but
I was going to try and hand him a skin suit, but I don't have that.
I have that. I have that. That's not much better. Christmas lights. Hey. What are we at? Oh, 78%. We're good.
Okay.
Much better than
So
4.
I texted it to you, sir.
I see.
All right.
Well, I don't see that. I will momentarily.
I pointed like this. That was not true. I apologize.
Nice. All right, that's sufficiently creepy. Thank you.
So as you kind of run, he's just like, you see his little hands. He's like,
Wait.
no,
What?
there's plenty more at home.
as you crest into you pass through the two large sort of street posts that line the entranceway. You notice the overgrown planters filled with glowing flowers that make up the lights in the town.
Closet boy, right?
Huh?
Closet boy.
Yes.
Thank you.
As you cross the threshold,
Yeah, you can see his little.
No, we can't. It's wearing a kimono.
he's people, boy.
you feel this sort of like something sliding out from your shoulder. At which point you just see this very plump and ripe dream fruit just kind of like flop out. He's like, ah! And then he catches it, and he's like, it's like a moment of just like,
Where did you get that? As I'm breaking my chastising to. No. Where did that come from? I'm gonna have a conversation with your parents.
What?
I found it.
This is. Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you found it.
Before.
Talking to.
Solid.
Leading
So
monsters toward the village, stealing from other farms. This. Another day, Qua. Another day.
you can hear calling out.
I know that things creepily yell in the
Wait,
night.
Book it after that.
So you begin running that way. You kind of cross
Time.
the dream stalks, and you're running past them.
I would like to go down on all fours and
Oh my
slowly
God.
creep out
Okay.
until I reach the edge.
You do. You little hands pop out. Nobody seems to notice you. As you crawl out, and you look around terrifyingly,
I just turn back around. This way.
and you begin.
I just keep saying this way, and so that I can hear the direction of my
Okay,
voice.
so you guys all follow along.
Yeah.
As you reach the center of town,
I was just head back to parents.
they're running towards you. So you
Okay.
basically, as you run down the pathway, they kind of like run up and they
Mid sprint trade.
they take Claw,
He took a sphere from someone's field,
the father's face, kind of.
and
He's
apparently
holding it. He goes,
No, I didn't.
and apparently led 3 monsters to our doorstep.
"Oh my god!" They begin kind of like moving away. They
That's,
start moving.
I imagine
towards.
that's the hasty exchange, and then let's book it.
Yeah, so you pick up Glean. You
Maybe a
manage
little
to catch up with Yana.
We just let's just get back. We go that way to the village.
Right.
You notice as you, running down the midway. As you guys begin heading back towards town, you notice that town is an amalgamation of just these like houses on stilts, about 1 foot off the ground, thick wooden construction. Everything here is made out of wood. Square base, like a little pagoda. It's got a little tiled roof made out of clay that you pulled from the shoreline. The interiors are illuminated by these glowing flowers that you pick from the nearby fields. Yep. You put them in little planters and they serve as wonderful little lights. And as you're approaching the center of town, you notice a couple of people they have little backpacks on made out of like silken and wood construction, and they're kind of like waiting to just flee into wherever. And as the village elder comes out, he's holding a staff, and on his staff he has a planter, and on the planter he has like this bouquet of flowers, and he kind of like waddles down from the steps of his little tiny home, and he's like, "All right, everyone."
Just like an entrance to the village.
Kermit.
No, huh?
Isn't it Kermit?
Yeah.
There's a.
Mhm.
I know what's happening. Is there like a fence around the village or a wall or a no? But
It's all open.
But there's like a place where we reach that's definitively grassland village, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so at that point, I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn to my daughter and say, Glee, go with them. Stay. Keep them safe.
She kind of immediately runs and she looks at you and she's like,
Go.
like, there's that weird,
Yeah.
do I stay or do I go now?
And I have that moment, take a deep breath. I'm just going to turn around and face the outside.
I'll also turn facing that same direction.
The oncoming horde.
As you guys are all that, you see a taller Uari, taller being like 4 foot maybe, so he's on the tall end.
I thought they were up to 5 feet.
Oh, then
Yeah,
so
because
that's
I'm
5.
average at 4.
Okay, so he's about almost 5 feet tall. He's
Towering.
wide. He's widely built. You obviously know him as Mino, the strongest in the village. And he approaches with his patented stick.
That's all I have.
That is legitimately, people think it's terrifying as he approaches, and he's just like, you notice he's got like a little shudder to him, but he's like, we're gonna do this.
Oh, Mino, thank God you're here. Thank goodness you're here.
And he's like stealing himself away more than anything. You occasionally get like the tremble in the hands, and he's just like the thick
He's got a
snout.
stick?
Yeah.
I'll reach over the stick. I'm going to cast light on it.
You glow it up, and he's like, thanks. And then he kind of gets in position. As the rest of the village begins kind of moving around, you can hear a bit of like that standard like chittering back and forth, and you do see that Niche immediately kind of starts like, you come here, you come over here, no, spread out, like starts like panic directing people, almost like an evacuation coordinator. She's like, you go over there, and only you here, like this sort of like panicked mess. As you guys cross to the threshold, you're greeted by very, very wonderfully crafted poles, each uniquely inlaid with different designs. Like the Uari don't have a lot of free time, or don't have a lot of things to do, and so they spend a lot of time decorating things and making it pretty, embroidering, things like that. So you're greeted by these 2 large posts that come into what you know to be like lantern or streetlight posts, but there's no glass in them, and there's no fire or light source. It seems to be just a planter planted in the middle of this thing that's billowing out these like sort of dandelion, very vibrantly glowing flowers on both ends. And then you see these like short, cute little houses made of wood. All of you could fit very easily inside. They are vaulted to them, so they're tall enough for you guys to fit in relatively comfortably. But you can see on the far end, there seems to be some sort of gathering of them, and they're chittering amongst themselves, almost very clearly fearful. And there are 3 defiantly.
No, there's 2 defiantly.
One panic.
I'm stuck here because of nature.
Kind of standing in the pathway. One brandishes a stick with light on it.
So we can see them now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm going to wild shape
Okay.
into a giant badger
Okay.
that looks like a Debbie Joe.
Okay. So like a large pickle.
The biggest, angriest, the meanest thing I've ever seen.
So he wild shapes into this sort of like
It's still
long,
shuddering.
huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
He wild shapes into this long sort of green and red pickle looking thing on 2 thick-looking legs and has two shorter arms that kind of lay down in the front. But like the weird badger ears.
Is that a pickle?
So is he badger
No.
sized?
I don't think so.
No, he's
Giant
like a giant badger.
Oh, okay. So he's
So
a
it's like-
dire badger.
So he's like medium. Maybe probably not 5.
It's like a regular badger, but dire.
Definitely medium sized.
So
Big fucking badger.
as the rest of the group there, you just have the village elder. He's like,
Let's go! Alright, everyone. Together.
and they begin kind of like marshaling off, and you can hear a small protesting amongst the group there. So what are you guys doing?
Qua!
You can't see him. You're calling out to him.
Yeah.
But you can't see him.
Far away are they?
Probably about 30 feet.
Oh, they're 30 feet now?
Yeah, they're at the edge of the village. You're standing. The village is just a like.
I
smattering
got you.
of
I didn't
houses.
realize, because last I heard was 120, so.
Oh yeah. They're still walking. They were walking the whole time. So.
Stay back!
Alright. Put the
Punching
sticks
badger.
down.
Pickle hair on.
This little the one bristle. You know? He hisses kind of.
That's like, oh, wow.
There's something wrong with your pickle.
Never you mind, just leave us alone.
Well,
We just want to get home.
But don't come to our home.
Too late. We're already here.
The first thing you do notice, though, uniquely enough about these creatures is they do not appear to be the standard. You have seen humans appear in the Dreamscape, but they are usually overly comedic versions of you've seen.
Or Gaston.
You have seen white shining plate mail armor, hyper confused but very friendly to all females it meets, and very polite. You've met overly cruel or overly mean, but they're always a parody of the true thing. This is the first time you've encountered one because all of you have dream dive before, a way to check to see if a fruit's truly ripe or not. So you've never seen one so accurately represent a person, which is jarring and disorienting as a defense mechanism. But with that being said, Mino, as you're all talking, you see his like little arm shake, and then he's like, "Ah!" and he just starts running, and just bolts
At
forward.
us?
Away?
Yeah, at you guys.
Oh, at.
30 feet. He's just running. And then you see his like little eye close, and he brings the stick up. Who's in front? You? You?
Was, yeah.
You?
Oh shit.
Oh, natural 20 to hit.
I know.
That was an 8. Sorry.
Oh.
I got him.
Oh no.
That just touched his face.
And he died.
He's like,
He shits himself.
Where's Qua? We're in the middle of a trade.
as you grab his
I
face,
think Claw wants to trade.
and the two of you see, as he grabs his face, you just see him.
Oh no.
He
He drops. Oh.
Run up to me.
You run up to him and you go. You see he's very clearly painted.
I take my quarterstaff and push his body behind me unceremoniously. What are you?
I've been called many things by many people. I am.
Crying pickle.
I'm a goblin, a munchkin, a gremlin, a magmakin,
Fred.
and also little demon monster thing.
No, I've seen plenty of little demon monster things.
Oh, also I take off my hat so they can see my face.
Oh, the
Yeah, the visor.
You've only got
he was wearing the
He was wearing the other
visor,
cheap
so
hat.
the eye was sitting in the front. It was like a little paper hat.
Yeah.
As he pulls it off, you see a long nose, a sort of pointed chin, ears.
I've seen goblins before.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
you
just
see-
terrifying when I see them. They're caricatures.
And they have no faces.
What?
Dustin.
Most humanoids that appear in here don't have faces.
Why is it so creepy in there?
Because most people can't
Why do you have
visualize.
the faces?
faces?
Most people.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's bizarre too.
Why do you have faces?
Um,
I was born with it.
You see it too, and it's weird because you've never seen.
everyone I know has a face.
Can I eat your pickle?
No.
No.
Did I see that it was one of those before it turned into a pickle?
Yeah, you would have
Yeah.
seen the URI transform.
I think I cast magic on that one.
Just out.
He's like, occasionally.
I'm gonna go over there. Hey, buddy. Buddy, it's okay.
I very reluctantly try to.
Make an attack roll disadvantage. You see his head like, no, I didn't want it.
It's good, I swear to God.
So the low one was a 7.
7. You just see it like kind of like,
Which was, hold on. I want to know how much this is. I used the badgers to hit, right?
yes.
Okay, that is going to be a 10 to hit.
It does not. Thank God.
Actually, I'm sorry. Use the badger strength, but I think you use your own proficiency modifier. Pretty sure, right?
No, you use whatever the animal says.
Oh, really?
That's
So
the
then-
downside to wild shape, I think.
Yeah.
Is that you have
Unless
to
you're moon, and then you get to add your shit.
Oh, okay.
So
So, yeah.
it's a 10 to hit.
So 10 to hit is he's like, ah! And you're just like, what? And
No.
then his head goes away.
Buddy, listen. We're trying to find our way out of here. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we came into one of those dream piers.
The dream sphere.
I hold the what's left of the last one.
The last one,
Trippy one?
it's like,
I ate this one. Qua said I should eat it.
That's an unwise decision to listen to him. You came through a sphere.
Yep, we found this thing in the bottom of a well, and he jumped in.
Well, Qua said it was the
Sure.
way out. We were dragged into the dream, okay? Most of us didn't want to be there. Pretty sure we all said maybe, and then we were there. And then Qua
Do you
said that
know
was the way
Cameron
out.
The hero?
So I jumped
Or
in,
Brady.
and apparently these two followed. And now we're here. And we just want to go home.
Well, that's unfortunate
Why?
I'll be back, and I
because I
walk
don't
over
know of
to
a way to get you home.
One of
Okay.
the plantation stuff.
you just hear it. You just
I
hear
can
it.
go into a dream, but
A strange bird call in the distance.
Wait, what were you saying? We don't know the way out?
Oh man, I should have picked a goat.
there's. So it appears that there's the middle ground between our worlds, and I can go into one side, but not out the other. And you came in the other side, and somehow managed to do what I cannot, and come through to ours. So you may live the rest of your lives here.
But if we do what you can't do, then maybe there's a way to do.
Of course, with all your powerful aspiring magics. So how would you propose we do that?
We've been working on,
As everyone's talking, like the full minute transpires.
What's your name?
Luca.
L-U.
Luca.
As you are like still hissing, you pop out of wild shape in your normal form, but you're still hissing. Just panic. You see a couple tears streaking down. It's just like,
we don't intend to hurt you.
You need to understand, nearly everything that
Out.
travels this wilderness is hostile.
bam.
Everything.
Oh, that's,
My husband was killed. Many of us have been killed.
Your second companion passes out.
Normal.
It's actually not. It is normal.
Just fainting goats over here.
is that why you said you should be a goat?
Possum's a legitimate strategy.
Yeah, play possum.
Unless it likes to eat carrion.
So, is there any, do you have any research on that, or I guess,
No,
They don't have books.
we have books.
No, you don't have books.
We don't have books.
Wait, what?
We
No,
don't
we
have
don't have
We don't have books.
I don't keep a library. Do I look like an affluent woman?
well, who teaches you?
I couldn't find an outhouse, so I peed in the field.
Lovely. This is already terrible.
But, who teaches you about the dream spirits and
My parents.
and
We grow them. Fields.
who teaches you how to go and
Take us to
It's
your
just something to
parents.
do.
Yeah.
I would.
My parents are dead.
Yeah, I didn't think that they were alive.
Where's
That's
Qua's
why I didn't
parents?
ask about them.
Qua's parents are running terrified that way.
You've noticed that the group seems to have stopped, but they're on the edge because they see you guys all.
What's the deal,
and they're
bro?
just
Talking
staring.
and not fighting, and
Right.
Nemo's out. And
Yeah.
And then they just see another one drop
Lucas
for no reason.
drops.
They're
They go
Or
like
see
a
them,
couple
they're
more
like,
feet.
they're so powerful. They drop them without touching them.
Well, I touched one.
Yeah.
Well, it touched you?
No, I,
No, he put his
Oh, that's
hand.
right,
on it, Yeah.
I don't know what to do with you.
I don't know what to do. either.
is it okay if I keep
I start crying.
You've already started, so.
Well, let's try out.
Can I
Yeah.
inspect the Dreams Crazy?
You can just see it.
Yeah.
It's a gray coloration, which to you signifies it is ripe. It just seems that what was contained within was kind of a bland, non-really.
It's a nap.
Yeah, this is not worth the dream.
Yeah.
That's up to you whether or not that's something you enjoy. So, yeah.
I like the dark ones.
I like those. They're safe.
Are you awake?
He's like
I like it.
occasionally exhale, just like blows up a little bit of dirt.
Okay, so there are
So
several
shall we move them
fields
out of the street?
of these dream spheres, right?
The fruit, yes.
You know that the fruit are grown. The fruit can't be made. The stalks are transplanted from place to place. You go out, you get them, and you bring them back. They are literally the dreams of people. So as long as that person is alive and dreaming, those stalks grow.
Oh.
So you go out and you get them because
Dig them up and then take it back like a tree. Yeah.
and then you run back and you put it down. That's how they grow them. And usually when you move, you take some with you. You like pick some up and you put them and you can run with them essentially.
I won't explain any of that.
Okay.
But
Just in case you're curious.
yeah, no, I am. That's actually really good for me to know. We tend them, yes.
We popped out somewhere over that way.
Sorry.
I don't remember.
It was just a
what
thought.
I don't
Would it
remember.
help you if we told you what kind of dream we were in? Or,
No.
Probably not.
Do you know how many people dream the same dream?
I don't know.
Most of them.
I don't know if they're dreaming this dream.
Well, Claude's
is not a
parents
dream.
would know which one it is.
Yeah, they tested the dream first, right?
Yeah, they brought Claude into the dream, and then he was left there. And we found him and brought him
What
back.
Claude's parents? You said them earlier.
Yes.
Maid
are
and
Maid
Qualler.
and Tawny. Tawny is the father and Maid is the mother.
Maid?
Maid. M-A-E-D.
And that's the she?
That is the she.
Yeah, we found him in the dream. Wait, is this a dream?
Not surprised.
I
No.
close my eyes and think really hard about a steak.
You just see him like
I don't think you're dreaming.
Is he tired?
Probably.
See,
We've
you
been
sleep.
through a lot of things.
I'm all out of magic.
Probably for the best.
I used it on the cloud. And
Well, wait here. I'm going to go have a conversation with the elder. And I'm going to grab Mino by whatever extremity is nearest. I don't care which it is. If it's an ankle, that's fine. I'll end up with a mouthful of dirt by the end of the walk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to pull him back. I'm going to see him. Grab him by an extremity, drag them back, and I'll check every so often over my shoulder to make sure they're still
staying
in
there.
that spot.
put my hand back on.
Yeah,
so I
easy
can
enough.
put my nose.
As you pull them away,
And my strength's solid.
you pull them away and the occasional
Got my
rumbling.
Yeah.
You guys are left with a glowing stick on the ground. It's like,
I left that there on purpose.
glowing. Tight. You make your way back. You cross through. You notice that as you
Once I pass the first house, I'm basically just to drop them.
okay, and then move a little bit
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
As you do, you see the group has stopped for the most part. You see Claus standing there talking to the elder, who's kind of like hunched over him, and they kind of go back and forth for a minute before the village elder turns and he starts walking towards you. At which point he stops and he goes back and he grabs the fruit out of the kid's hand. And you see him like start crying. The parents come over and they're
I'll
like,
walk over to him.
What's going on?
They don't appear to be monsters. They appear to be people.
Real people.
Yes, their faces and everything.
Faces in it.
Their own face, each of them.
he begins kind of like walking forward.
I'll let him take the lead and then follow. Go a step or two behind him.
after a prolonged time as you wait, you see this like slow moving.
Slow as dicks.
Yeah, this slow moving like
Walks
we're talking like
basically
the
15.
touch, then 2 steps, tap, 2 steps, tap. It's a very slow progression, but you just watch as this older looking, tapir looking creature with sort of that brindle gray and white hair, missing parts in the top, sagging jowls. He approaches. He is wearing though very nice and very well made silken robes. The under one seems to be a dark brown, and the outer one seems to be a multitude color of green. It's just all. And then he has this thick-looking, heavy gold cord around his waist that ties into a very big bow on the back.
Oh, look, it's a grandpa.
I should probably describe my character.
Yeah. We'll get to it in a second.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I
As
said,
he-
look, it's a grandpa.
As he approaches, you see this well-crafted staff that kind of like has all these inlaid designs. Nothing really like meaningful, but it just comes into like this very pretty aesthetic that erupts into basically just a planter of glowing flowers. And as he approaches, he gets closer. A couple of little like leaves drift off, and they're still glowing as he gets closer. He's like,
What can I help you with?
We are trying to find our way back to where we're from.
Where are you from?
We came through a
Alabra.
dream.
Stop
I
touching
don't
the
think
mic.
they would know that.
Driving me insane.
I just realized that my perception is 10, not 12.
I am Naka, the village elder.
Naka no Naka.
I'm Rashid. This is Celiana. This is Zongai. Probably.
"Where's my notes here?"
Why is the veil in my nose?
No, so you can see your face.
Oh.
It's in the other faces.
What do you need?
We need to try and find a way back to where we're from. From what I understand, it's on the other side of the dream.
What's on the other side of the dream?
Where we're from.
Over here.
What?
My brain stopped.
Watch it.
That's in character.
But the material, you call it that in your world? Material plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
yeah.
there's different like layers to things like worlds, and
Like a fruit.
like a fruit.
Okay.
And you're in part of a fruit, and we come from a different part of the fruit. I guess.
Is he qua? I think he still has that fruit.
So we came from where we were at, and then into the dream sphere. And
Couldn't
then
grab
we
hands
ended up
for
in
it.
someone's dream, and then there was a well in Kwa, so that was how he gets home, and that's what he went down below.
You were dream diving?
That's what it sounds like.
I guess so.
I don't remember how I got the sphere.
I
got
gave
from
it to you,
Nicholas.
and I got it from Nicholas.
Oh.
Because I snatched it out of his hand.
Yeah.
And somebody gave it to us, and then we I don't remember about it right now.
It was your idea.
Yeah, I know it was my idea, but I don't know why we decided. I think it was just to see what was in
I think
it.
it was because someone,
curious.
by someone I mean God, stated that you could go into a sphere and change it.
Oh yeah.
He kind of like pulls out the one, and he's like,
Oh.
he approaches, kind of like fearlessly so far. Just kind of like stuffs it in your hand.
He's just going to eat it.
Does that help?
No.
He's gonna eat it.
You already did.
Yeah, he did.
Done.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Took a
Yeah,
bite of it.
that's what they're for.
You
What
can't
they're
give
for?
him anything.
But so here they're fruit, but do they still have dreams inside them here?
Yes.
Have you seen any with me in it?
Well,
Or people like
how do
me?
your dreams
Yes.
get here into these things?
Oh, those are the bad ones
They
then.
grow.
They grow that way.
See? Fields.
Well, somebody has to.
He's just
Oh, did that pickle move?
You're in a
Break off
pile with Mino by the nearest house to the entrance of the village.
He's in normal form now. He transformed back.
Yeah.
He's not close to us, is he?
No,
No.
he's
No.
he's like probably 60 feet away.
I want to do that thing that Like when you try and feed somebody that just woke up.
That
That was horrible. Your pickle's broken.
So how? But people have to dream those dreams, right, from other places to get them here.
No, they grow that way.
Maybe when people dream where we are, they
They
grow
create
here.
them here. Yes, that's probably the
And
assumption.
we eat them.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
The Uari mostly have. They seem to have a mix of information. They get information from the creatures inside, but that doesn't necessarily translate all the time because those creatures are usually parodies of the true version. That's what you're getting. So their version of
And
it.
even the really smart ones have information that doesn't make any sense. To
Right.
you,
You're like, okay. So he's just like,
Sure.
I don't mean to be offensive, but are you the smartest person here? Or is
Don't
there
mean to be
like an
offensive.
educator?
He's the elder.
you scoff because he's not the smartest person in the
Yes,
village.
he is.
There is somebody smarter in
He's
the
the elder.
village.
Explain to you who he is. The elder.
Kusu.
Turn
Lady.
the elder. Should we take them to Kusu?
He kind of like looks you up. He's like kind of looking you over. You consume it. It is very sweet. It's very fruity and it's very nice.
yeah, like my hand, it was really good.
You know, I've
You
seen
would
what's on
not
your
trust that
hands
ever.
95% of the time. Okay.
At which point he's like,
Come with me.
and then he turns around and he begins kind of walking back. You notice though that he's not heading to Kusu. He's heading to his house. He seems to be heading back to his home.
I'll follow them a bit, and then I'm going to take a tangent, and I'm going to go find Kusu.
Okay.
With the stick, I'm gonna put it next to the sleeping body of the guy that I
Passed
magic
out.
down.
You just set it down as you guys pass by. You round, and basically, epicenter in the center of this community seems to be where the elder is leading you. He's kind of like slowly walking, and he climbs the stairs very slowly. You are probably hiding by that building. So you notice more of the Uari seem to be coming back into town, confused, holding backpacks. Some holding stalks. Others holding children. They're all just like really not sure what's going on. At which point the elder, when he hits the top of the stairs, he turns around for a minute, which kind of like stops you guys from following him. And he's like,
Everyone, come.
and they all kind of like very slowly, very warily. The ones holding children stay in the back and they kind of remain scattered, but other ones, the younger ones, seem to approach a little bit more curious.
We'll be entertaining guests now, so, go about your business, I guess. That's all.
And then he turns and heads into his house.
I look towards Qua and hold out the bone helmet.
Let's see if Quad's still deviant or not. Yeah, he's not very smart. As you see this little like, he's just kind of like sidestepping between people, like trying to be stealthy, but he rolled a 3, so he's like, he's like looking at you, and he like saddles up. Everyone's kind of like watching, like they're very clearly like watching him. It's like Cartman crossing the stage, and then he just kind of goes, yoink, and takes off running again. They're just like, what? What the hell is going on here? Seemingly confused. At which point we're gonna take our break. So that is where we'll take it. Right. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna use the bathroom, grab some drinks, all that stuff. So hope you guys are enjoying. Noodle1202. Thanks so much for the follow. I hope you're enjoying.
Stick around afterwards, and we'll talk about why your name is awesome.
Yeah, after the stream, we usually do a talk back where we talk about the game and everything like that. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and do that. And we will be right back. I gotta slide off camera frame though for a moment. Oh goodness.
Just knock everything over. It's cool.
Step over everything. Yes. Cool. Let's go ahead and go to here. Now the audio's back.
Hey!
Alright, let's go ahead and move all
Be
this
back.
stuff out of my way here.
Ah,
Hey everybody, how you doing? There. I'm gonna position myself. So.
I'm actually in frame.
Yeah! Alright, you should be able to see yourself. So hopefully
Hmm.
you remain in frame. Hey Yuso, how you doing? Hey everybody. Alright, and we're back. So we are jump right back in where we left, which is you guys entering the house of the village elder. You head off to go get Kusu. And what are you doing?
I'm hiding behind the building, and then as they pass, I will follow about 15 feet behind,
Mm-hmm.
ready to dive behind a building.
I see. You're directly you're at the building. So you kind of like loiter up the
Ignore me. It's a
Ignore
broken.
me.
you are you going up the stairs? You want to be close to the door, kind of peeping in, or you want to be at the bottom of the stairs?
I'll be at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, kind of peeping over the
Safe distance.
peeping over the little walkway there. So as you guys enter, the village elder turns around. You notice his home is relatively empty. They have things like curtains and stuff, but they don't really have this one particularly doesn't have rugs. But there seems to be a sort of chest in the corner that contains you don't know what. And the center of the room has a sort of like square box that has a hole in it. And you notice that there's like a little planter in there with lights coming off, a sort of centralized lighting area. At which point, when he goes in, he sits on that lip of the raised sort of platform. And as he sits there, he sits on a comfortable-looking cushion.
So what are we gonna do with you?
I'm pretty sure Ma and Tata
My tater.
are going to find a way to get us back. So we should probably do something
About
to.
Yeah, guys.
Spoilers.
Got a great friend.
As you cough, he kind of like looks over
We made new friends.
past everyone here and kind of like looks at you.
Are you okay?
I'll turn around and look too. Can you just like go away?
Yeah.
Luca, come up here. Come up here.
Oh, that's your pickle.
Come on. Luca's very gifted. He can use magic.
Oh.
Some of us can use magic. He's very gifted.
Come in. Just
Born with it.
around them.
Oh, it's
Around
not
the outside.
Maybelline.
He stays on like the outside, and then you kind of bump into the trunk where he keeps his like his bedroll and stuff, and his like blankets and stuff. He likes to unwind by laying down, and you puts on a little cap. He just lays there.
It's good for the back.
Stop it. I don't even know these things.
You don't. He does. As you crest around, you kind of approach the back of his central like lighting platform, and you kind of stand there for a minute. And he's like,
Better? Introduce yourself, Luca. Hi.
Hello.
I'm Gongak.
I'm Celiana.
Okay.
I could do the sleep spell again.
Are you? Is your name Luca?
Are we the only people that have passed through here?
Do you turn into other vegetables or just pickles?
We've seen plenty faceless.
Okay.
And occasionally something will pop from the dream. But it's really rare for them to have a face.
Okay.
Usually they're just silly.
I put my
Where did
hat
they
back
go
on.
after they pop out of the dream?
They wander off and get eaten usually
Eaten
by the creatures
Oh.
in the walk.
What is the walk?
Everything that's not the village.
Okay.
We
What?
call it the endless walk.
kind of like stares off into space for a minute. 1,000-yard stare. At which point he kind of like shakes his head.
Excuse me.
It's where the dream demons live and the nightmare monsters.
Okay.
Oh, is that where the Sleeping King is?
You notice he thinks for a minute.
I believe it's a
Sleeping
prince.
Prince.
The Sleeping Prince was the name of the cult.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know
I
any of that yet.
didn't get that far in the
Yeah,
educational
we got
experience.
a little bit.
Yeah.
It was just
As far as we know, it's a person still.
yeah, the
Oh, we
sleeping
don't
king.
talk about
Oh,
those things.
Oh.
Every time you mention him, you can wake him up.
Oh.
are there
Alright.
also shark people here that turn from people to sharks?
I don't think so.
Probably not the same person then.
Well, you haven't seen like a silver round thing person having, or another person's all wrapped up where the, cause it seems silly. So,
Nope.
they might be by. They're our friends.
Feel like if they came here, they would have been found first, and this village wouldn't be here
Or
anymore.
maybe they came out from a different part.
Hey.
Dare you?
No, I mean they would have left. They would have left,
Be a
guys.
fire.
Come on.
Well, we
Well,
can't
you're
find our
welcome to
friend.
stay in the village. Luca will be happy to take you up. He needs to experience.
He seems not. He doesn't
Seems a little uneasy with the idea.
Oh,
He kind of like looks at all of you.
maybe just you.
Okay.
You can house one person, right?
I
I can house one person as well if one of you would like to stay with me.
I can house all three.
I'm gonna go find Quat.
Well,
I think you should stay with us for a little while.
Oh.
I
I
can
don't
do
think
all
you should
three.
scare any more people in the village.
Okay, you can all stay with Luca.
are you sure? I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
Where did Yana go?
Immediately calm.
As you make your way through the village, a couple of houses, you artfully, you know your way around, so you maneuver relatively quickly. And you find yourself cresting the steps up to Kusu's house. And as you approach, you knock on the door. There's a silence for a moment. And then as you stand there, you don't hear anything inside. No rustling or anything. And as you turn around, you actually see her coming down the way with her backpack on, just like,
Oh, flag her down.
she kind of like stops and looks, and she's like, "Oh, afternoon."
Hello. The things in the field pursuing the little one. They're people.
Real people?
Real people.
Here.
Here. The faces and everything. Each one has their own face.
Why?
No. They said they came from a fruit. Through a fruit.
She runs up the stairs past you. She opens the door. It's not locked.
Yeah.
She opens the door. She runs in. She drops the bag down.
That kind of
You notice that in her house, and you've seen it before because she's a little strange. She has 3 potted
Like personal.
dream stalks. Yeah, just
Okay,
in there.
weirdo.
They're ripe, and she seems to keep them there for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And she kind of like looks at all 3 of them. Real people.
If you'd like to speak with them, they're at Naka's. I came to find you immediately because I knew if anyone would have anything to say to them or to hear from them, it should be you.
She grabs some. She grabs like these slats of wood, like cut out flat, and they have writing on them. She's been carving into them with a
Fucking weirdo.
yeah, with like a wood, with like a little wood pen with like a little arched stone.
So
She's
etching.
carving. Yeah, she etches in. She grabs all these like paper units. It's kind of heavy for her. And she's like, and she
I'll lead
runs
the way.
out.
Yeah.
Stops, runs back, closes the door, runs
Yeah.
downstairs, almost trips.
At least they close their doors.
Kusu, can I carry any of that for you?
Just takes like half the little wooden pieces.
Happily.
Runs out.
Puts her toast in her mouth and runs.
She
Hey, anime class.
runs out. As you guys are all sitting there, anything else you'd like to ask?
Do you cook it?
Cook what?
The fruit.
I don't understand.
Like maybe you can make a fruit pie.
What's a pie?
It's got,
It's like this, and I just concentrate really hard.
oh.
Like I'm in a dream.
You see, he's looking at you, and then he's like,
That didn't work.
Can I make a tiny pie with presentation?
Can you make images?
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
wait,
think
not
you
me,
can
no.
with presentation.
I
Eating
think
my
you
No,
can have
circle
something
or not.
Something
think I
that
have
appears in your
mine
hand,
already.
right? As long as you can fit your hand.
I do have mine
Make a
related.
color, mark, or a symbol appear.
Oh,
My magic's all tapped
So I
out.
don't
Could
think
somebody
it's-
else do it?
you gonna do it?
What do
I can flavor
Make
those.
I'm
a
sorry.
like an apple
Shit,
pie.
I can
You can flavor
those.
things?
Yeah,
Jesus.
damn it.
I know
I
Preston Chase
know
can do that.
what
Yeah.
apple pie looks like?
Do you know?
Yes.
So you make a pie. As you kind of wave your hands, you see this. You see for the first time, and you've experimented with your magic. But you don't have something similar to this, and you just see this pie appear. This strange-looking crusted top. I'm guessing it's in the tin. I'm imagining like
Yeah.
cliche.
Yeah.
Like with the
Yeah.
tin, it's got
America.
steam
Yeah.
coming out.
Right? Like he's looking at it. He's like,
Yeah, that's what it looks
I'll
like.
make a pie
I don't
smell because I can make smells.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that smells good. I've never seen one of those before.
It comes from
It's-
definitely.
yeah.
It comes from where we are.
I am immediately disappointed.
For you.
Try
I have no more food for you. I think you ate all of my rations.
Yes, I did. He did say, "Here, have as much as you want." I ate
Yeah.
all of them.
Before I knew
like,
you
well,
ate all the things.
That
Do you
was
have
like,
enough dream spears to feed all of them? Do you have enough fruit?
actually, hold on.
Is there stuff with us?
Yeah, we have our stuff.
I have no food. Oh yeah, I never had food in my inventory, so I
don't-
just took from
You
everybody
can't,
else.
no, because you don't keep it. You get
Yeah.
food and you eat it.
Yeah.
obviously.
Seafood diet.
I
You
have,
don't need any extras?
You might. He eats a lot.
well, I have some food left.
I run hot,
So,
burn off all the
Not
goodness.
necessarily incorrect.
Maybe.
Okay.
I could go hunting for some birds. I saw some of those M's.
can you eat those things?
I don't know.
The creatures here from dreams, do they all come from dreams?
They're all just here.
So they must taste dreamy.
Cutting mic 2 again.
Sam's just doing it banned. Sound, it's fine.
You can silence us, but you can't silence the truth.
Just scream it to the other mic.
After a moment or two, you see a familiar sort of. You want to describe yourself now?
Yeah,
Enter?
so I'm open the door.
Yeah.
So 4 feet tall, like 140 pounds, dumpy, wearing a nice longish skirt and that apron that every mother owns, female. And I've got like mostly yellow fur everywhere with reddish orange polka dots through it. Kind of like in my description I said giraffe mixed with a muppet kind of
Good.
pattern.
Like
Nice.
Gonzo Muppet?
No, like the
No, just
heffalump.
colorless.
Like a
Just-
fucking heffalump.
Kind of, yeah, similar. And it's vibrant colors, like not like hide in the background, but like, oh, there's somebody in the grass there.
Right.
And yeah,
It's a native
standard
kind
little
of
size,
stealth.
nice.
Got it.
Actually, my stealth's
Fucking
minimal.
dumpy. I'm 3'9",
You're
168.
a fat piece of shit, is what you are.
And I got the traditional blacksmith kind of thing where it's like a very thin robe with the gap here that's got the stitching,
Oh, and I have a
Nice.
tops and bottoms.
I have a really awkwardly stitched like belt of silk fabric, but it looks like it was made by a child because it was.
What color fur do you have?
Blue.
All the same color?
Yeah, but my
Like Gonzo.
skins, yeah, exactly like Anso. Anywhere that skin's exposed, it's light blue.
Okay.
Palish blue.
Every time your character talks, I'm just gonna see Gonzo in my head.
Yeah.
If I could remember how
Gonzo's
he
my
talked,
favorite
I'd
model.
probably try to do it. It's very honky.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm Yana.
The one with that comes in with Yana.
I'm
Yeah.
Yana.
I thought you got lost for a minute.
No, I went and grabbed Kusu. I thought that she would want to hear about this.
All right.
She's got the stuff that she does.
She kind of like pops in. You see her.
I realize I have a thing of tablets.
Right. She kind of like grabs it from you. It's in her pile, and she's like looking at you.
Yeah.
And she like looks at you.
It's not.
At which point she kind of like sets her little tablets down and she pulls one out. She runs up to you. Like it's like uncomfortably close. She has this like sort of like brownish white brindle color through her with black spots along the outside, little nubby like ears, and a slightly longer than average snout. She's currently wearing a single layer robe that's tied with like a thick looking sash. And she kind of like stares at you. She takes her like little, it looks like a little scalpel basically made out of like stone, and she's like
I don't know.
starts carving into her thing. She's like writing notes about you very slowly.
Is that it?
Huh?
What's the language?
Do you speak Celestial?
No, I speak Sylvan.
Ha!
Ah!
I don't.
She's writing in a language you do not understand. All you are speak this.
Yep.
She's just carving as she stares at
Lucky
you,
we
just like
speak common.
carving little things out.
This would have been a really awkward bloodbath otherwise.
She's just staring at you.
Yeah.
Do you eat dreams?
No, but we traveled again, I guess.
Dream
I eat meat and vegetables. And fruit.
She grabs another
And
tablet as you're
books.
talking. She starts carving into that one.
And once in a while people, but I'm told I'm not supposed to do that.
Have you seen humans before?
They're always so silly.
Um,
Talking about saving the maidens and
Yeah,
whatever.
ridiculous, valiant, stupid.
do you know
I wore a dress
about
once.
dream diving?
It was a robe.
Okay.
You said dream dive.
Yes.
Everyone wants to be one of them.
How would we do that again?
Yeah.
She kind of like looks at you, looks at the village elder, and he's like,
Well, you just do it. You go up to the sphere, and then you do it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, what did you do the first time when?
Well, I had a dream, and or I had the sphere, and I just went to sleep and was in it. I do a tune to it, or no? Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, that one you did. Yeah.
I had to sit with it for a while first, and then I went to sleep, and I was inside it, and then I woke up and I wasn't, and then
You went to what?
we went to a dream. We went inside a dream, and there.
Before that.
We
I
went
had
to
sit
sleep.
with it for a while, and I slept. Went to sleep.
What's that?
You don't sleep. Close your eyes and
Then you dream.
can, and I close my eyes.
But I mean, we humans and goblins, we needed to feel
Just be glad you're people.
Right.
If we don't sleep, we
Oh, you're a
usually
goblin?
do
You're an odd-looking
things
goblin.
properly.
Very strange.
We get tired. Do you
I've
get
seen the
tired?
green ones and the gray ones.
Yeah, we rest.
Green ones are
Well,
really
that's what
tasty.
we do. That's what's
You do
That's a
chores?
Or-
chores.
Or sit and watch the sky.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
I like to play the flute.
Luca plays the flute.
It's very nice.
You notice Kusu's just like
Just
scratching.
right.
Just, you hear this like little
Okay.
as you're talking.
Well,
I play the drum.
So we had to sleep to get in the dream sphere. We couldn't
Boom.
get in there without sleeping.
Well, we don't sleep.
How do you get inside the dream?
They just
Do
do
it.
it. Yeah.
Do you put your hands in it? I don't.
No.
Do you hold it?
It's probably like a perpetual state of
You just-
dreaming.
We just go up to them and we can go into them.
If we have to sleep to get into it, they're probably in a perpetual state of like almost there. The temperature's there. There's no breeze. There's nothing. Everything's moving.
That dreams can be.
Oh, that's blood.
What did you do?
I picked my nose.
Oh, okay.
It's a big mess.
Well, it's been a long day, and Luca's stressed.
Where are they staying? Do they have a place?
They're gonna stay with Kusu.
No.
Luca?
I'm sorry. I get confused sometimes. Luca.
Are you sure that's wise? I have plenty of room. Farther from the village center. Keep them away from the rest.
I have no one else in the house.
Oh yeah.
I don't
right.
see how that's a positive for you.
No, I'm sad. Neither do I.
I think if we were a threat, he has less people for us to harm.
Are you gonna harm us?
No, I think that's his logic. Why he would say he's by himself. I don't know.
Well, we're more than happy to put you up and give you food. You can stay here with us. But we're gonna ask that you help out while you're here.
Okay.
We have some very important responsibilities, like walking the field.
Okay.
It's of the utmost importance.
Oh, I know how to do that.
Okay, what do you do when you walk the field?
You pick the bad ones out and throw them away, and you pick the good ones up and
Well,
you
we're
put
not
them in
picking
the
out good ones yet. We just sweep the fields to make sure there's
I
no
would
bad
probably know
ones.
that one.
What?
Considering my family owns farms.
Not a farm like this.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because he do.
We want to make
that's
sure that
'cause
none of them are
Claw-
going to give birth
Claw
to
told
a
me too.
monster.
Very important.
Oh, the dream ones come out of the
Out of the bad ones, yeah.
If they're left too
Oh.
unattended.
What do you do with the
I was
bad
just talking about
dreams?
rough fucking.
We have to eat them. Like immediately.
Oh.
Usually someone volunteers to eat it.
Those are my favorite.
Not everyone likes them, so.
Okay.
Do you like nightmares?
Okay.
Yana likes nightmares. I'm indifferent about a nightmare. I could go either way.
I want to know what his relaxing time is like.
I like gray ones. They're very safe.
There you go.
Takes all sorts.
Well, this has been very nice. If you would like to show them to your house, I'm gonna unwind. I'm a little tired.
You see him get up, and as you guys are like kind of like gathering amongst yourselves, he begins getting out of bedroll and like laying it out. Then he puts his blanket. He makes a very neat little bed. Puts a pillow. Puts the stop it! You're killing me. He puts the staff down, and then he curls up into it, and he lays there. And he goes,
Lovely.
Just staring at shit.
yeah. He puts on his little hat.
See, he's sleeping. Or trying to sleep. Let's leave Naga.
Are you literally crying right
Yeah. Fat little guy.
Yeah. Bye, Naga.
Oh, have a nice day, everyone.
Naga the Raka.
Luca, do you need me to take one or two of them?
No,
I'm assuming you guys live
fine.
nearby each other.
I'll be fine.
He would probably live closer to the into your like.
Yeah, I'm a
next
little
one
farther
down.
out because it's small for your field.
And I'm a coward.
Kusu seems to be following along, just like watching everything you're doing. She seems focused on you right now, and she's just like carving things in. She's just making notes.
What are you writing down there?
Your size, height, weight.
What else? What do you write notes about?
That one says fat.
I make notes to the
Really?
aliens.
Can I see him?
You're gonna blow her fucking mind.
Well, if you can't really tell what my notes are. They're in kind of a thing that I made, so nobody else can read them.
I'm pretty smart, you know.
Oh,
I might be able to.
She's the smartest in the village.
She is.
Just
Her little nose
show
kind of goes that like.
I'll get out my book and I'll open it.
Spell book?
Yeah.
Start it.
Well, are you opening to like glyphs, or are you opening to just because
I'm
like your
still-
magical incantations are all written in a language no one can understand,
Yeah.
but your notes are written in common or whatever
Yeah.
languages you speak.
Well, it's mixed together, kind of. So I'll like open it, show her.
As you show her, she kind of like is, and her eyes get really wide, and she's like, "What did you write on? What did you write with?
Oh,
That seems so portable. Can I see it?" She kind of like puts down her wooden
Wait,
slats.
did she say portable or horrible?
Portable,
Okay.
Both.
or maybe both.
I was like, why would you
Yes.
activate?
Is that heavy? Mine's heavy. She like picks up a bunch of wood, sets it
not
back
wrong.
down.
Or is that only Lucrezia?
I know Lou has some.
You guys are kind of walking and talking about it. You lead them through these small narrow pathways. That
I wonder
probably
where
fit
that
one or
pickle
two.
creature went.
I don't know fucking paper.
I'm really hungry.
Let's
I don't
look
know
over
why
here.
not.
Oh,
I have the shit one.
well, I can't eat a Luca.
that was from
Eternal screaming
That-
intensifies.
He's not green, so he doesn't taste good. Remember?
When
Mm.
yeah, it
Alright.
was from that shit. Or
I
vice
had a
versa.
pickle since I left the farm.
But yeah. that's what it was.
Where
I
we
don't
come
have
from,
paper.
Luca?
We
Well,
have
I have
paper
paper.
right there.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
seen it
we chill
before.
monsters.
Where did you
Listen.
Stream diving. But I just can't
How do you
interact
make
with it. How do you even make something? Why?
Why?
He's looking for his keys right now.
Why did you have so many?
Well,
There's no keys. The doors are all open.
I would imagine he has his own like 16
Yeah, he's
locks
or-
on his door.
Or it's one of those ones where every door has a handle on it, and each door has a different specific handle to open it. It's not a key; it's just a handle that goes
Right.
on it.
What? No, the intricacies of making paper.
Make an intelligence check.
I
Or a history check.
You don't know shit.
Hey, that's not terrible.
22.
Jesus.
Yeah, rudimentary with, I mean, your 22 is really good, but with your limited knowledge, yeah, you could probably put together a way to make a base version of it with the right materials.
Like washi paper. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
Like parchment, then
Yeah, it would be
traditional
like
white.
a
bark
parchment.
How long would it take
Something.
to do that
How much does it make to make?
though?
Depending on the kind of paper you're making, if you wanted to make it out of wood slats, you could do it in about 2 weeks.
That would be my contribution. Just make a paper,
You
guys.
basically just take wood,
There's a manga
pound it
about
into
this.
a pulp.
Mhm.
You flatten the pulp out to let the pulp dry, and you'll get a much lighter, not as strong version as paper or as straight wood, but it'll be a parchment like. It'll be a very primitive parchment.
How long does it take?
It depends on how dry the atmosphere is.
One second.
Out here,
There's also a wet method too.
It's like a dream.
You try and shred the wood as thin as you can. You put it in water so it softens it up, and then you
You hear
spread
this
it
yet?
out.
I am looking up how to make it right now.
hey, you know what? The shit
Yeah,
you
'cause I
learned
have
playing
this.
D&D. We
Yeah.
know
yeah,
how much
you
a
could-
barrel of water weighs.
Seeing that they
Rum.
have silk
How much
and that
blood's
there's
in your
like
body?
plant fibers and stuff, you could probably make a way to do it. It would take a while, a couple days, because you have to like stretch it
I
out
thought it was
over.
like weeks.
You have to get all the materials, mix them together. You have to stretch them out over wood pallets
What
that
about
keep them.
ink? Could I do that from like the Dreamscape?
Ink you could do from anything that has a color to it.
Yeah.
So
What is
berries,
she writing?
roots,
She's scratching it.
scratching it
she has
into
a
wood.
scalpel,
Oh,
like a
cutting pieces of her wood
she's
away.
cutting. Yeah, she's actually carving pieces of the wood out.
okay.
I may be able to make paper, but it depends on how long we're
Also
here. I
books.
don't think we're gonna be here for that long.
Or bones.
I don't know.
Do you have a plan to leave?
Well, I think we can figure something out to be on here. We have friends that might be able to, but I don't know if they're level.
No offense. That sounds like a terrible plan.
Just not here. I thought we were going to have a.
Well, plan for the future because the present is ever changing.
Such mom advice.
Yeah.
So you let him inside your little home. You want to describe it for them? I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. You guys talk.
Alright, so my Luca's home is very sparse, but he has another door inside that leads out to the balcony, and that's where he likes to sit. It's not really a balcony. It's like a side porch.
Balcony.
Yeah. And that's where he likes to sit. He has a dream stock in his planted because that's what he practices his magic on, and he has a little rack, like a gun rack with his flute in it. That's about it. There are several scratches in the mats and in the walls from when he transforms to test.
Oh God, what am I? I'm scared of myself.
You have a mirror. You can see
Cool
yourself.
water.
No, he uses
Well, where do you
fucking
see
water.
people?
Mm.
A pickle badger.
In a dream, people are terrified.
Mm-hmm. I've got some scary shit in here, and I've got some really funny shit.
Can you turn into like a bee?
No, that involves flying, but I can turn into a giant wolf spider that has wolf ears and a wolf tail.
We all fit in here?
I need to check on the children, make sure they're fine. He was in charge, so
Does this house have
make sure
windows?
Oh,
One.
until tomorrow, I
So
guess.
basically, it's like a
I'm
one-room
leaving to
house.
collect my child and take them back and check on the kids.
Window on the left side,
Alright.
closet on the far side, and then side porch on the left as you walk in.
What's that door go to?
You'll see.
Outside?
I need to
Inside?
unwind. It's been very stressful.
Bathroom?
So I'm gonna grab my flute. I'm just gonna open the door and sit down on my porch and start playing my flute.
Play your flutes.
like belligerently playing it so people can't talk to you.
Starts playing like
Make a performance check.
I want to stand behind him and play on my drum.
I can't tell if
That's a
that is a 2.
2.
That's going to be a 2.
2? Okay. Then you just play. Wait, aren't you
Elementary
proficient
school
with it?
kid on a recorder.
So plus 2.
5.
So 5. Plus your charisma?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, 2 plus 2.
I bang on my drum right behind him.
2 plus 2, 5 now?
That's what he said.
Is it 5?
2 plus 2 is 4.
No.
Hey, everybody! Go on my dick!
So,
Like,
you go ahead and make a performance check as well. See if you can match along with his beat and
The crying.
the weeping. Saddest of weeping.
When was the last time
That's
you
a
slept?
7 minus 1, so 6.
6. So together you guys come up with a pretty terrible amalgamation of sounds. But it's like a So,
What was the last time that we slept?
Before you
I
came.
mean, you slept right before you got here.
you technically had just started sleeping when you had gotten into the Dreamscape.
Yeah.
But now that you're here, it's been a minute. It's been a while.
Yeah, you've been following Qua. You did altercation.
So you head back. You start
Snatch glee from neighbors, basically.
head
And
down.
then
Okay, go on.
head home and check on the kids.
They all kind of like peep out. They stare at you. They're like curious. There's a bit of an exchange where they.
Everything's
What's
fine,
going on?
etc. I'm going to explain to them in the least fantastic terms possible.
Okay. So like
There are
freak
things
them
that
out.
exist,
Right.
and these aren't necessarily evil, but we should not go poking around them.
They nod.
Let's go poke at him!
No, because that's how their father died.
Oh.
You take the kids back to the
Which
house.
I'll remind them of at least twice in my speech. And just, if I could just
Lay
get the
on
jar
the
of
wall.
guilt,
Yeah.
And just lay it
Take it
out.
out.
Mom status jar.
Yeah.
and then go back for more.
Easy
and then
sandwich.
A little bit more. Fold it and force it down.
Like a true parent. All right, so you guys settle in. You guys share some food. You guys dole out some spheres.
Oh, so I'll get them set up and have them set to set in the house to rights and everything. And I'm going to take a small basket and I'm going to collect a couple of extra spheres to bring over.
Okay.
Because I know what he's got. And I don't want to.
You see Yana coming back with a well-made basket.
Dum, dum.
Dum-dum.
Behind you.
Somebody thinks it's a jazzy tune. They're not here right now.
So, what would you guys like to do for the remainder of your time? You pass out? Take a long rest? Sleep?
I'm gonna
Just
go
lean up
sleep.
against a wall farthest away from him because he doesn't seem to like you very much. And then
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go hang up I'm gonna go back to my house and sit in my rocking chair and watch the field sway.
Okay.
And the
I'm
sky.
gonna sleep.
I'm gonna pull out my flail and lay on top of my fucking backpack with it in my hand and just pass out.
So something unique happens that you've never experienced. As you're playing and you're like, so nice to start relaxing, you turn around to see them kind of curling up, and they look like they're unwinding, but then all of a sudden they start to, like,
Cease.
they just start to, like, yeah, they start to, like, relax.
I
They're
would have been
passed out.
because we don't have to sleep, right?
Run into her house.
And you,
I'm front porch, I'm sitting on it by my fields.
panic.
Luca,
Use your
breathe. The children are unwinding. I'm unwinding. What's going on?
They're doing something. I don't know what they're doing. Summoning a demon.
I'm gonna grab my
who
quarterstaff.
hears talks in their
Pretty much
sleep?
walking stick.
Oh,
And
You can make your way over a little bit of a jaunt, and then as you round the corner, yeah, sure enough, door's still open as he ran out. You don't hear any noise, and you kind of like pop up the steps for a minute, and they're all just kind of like curled up,
out.
curl
Yeah,
up in
my
the corner,
bedroll.
curl up.
and
She
stuff.
actually climbed into a bedroll,
Yeah.
so they're doing their own unwinding.
But that's what are they?
Well, it's unorthodox, sure. It doesn't seem to be hurting them.
But they're all doing it. All of them at the same time.
They're all doing it, and none of them are alarmed, which means it's normal for them. This is bizarre, obviously, but It's clearly not uncommon. This one seems to have settled into some sort of poorly made bed. That one looks like mine when anything big comes out. I say we wait a couple hours and see if they're dead. Yeah.
We came to the Dreamscape.
I'm gonna go rest. If you need to, I always have the spare room. If this gets a little too odd for you.
As you guys are talking on the outskirts of the village, you hear like little, and you look and you see these like sort of like vibrantly colored, but like they have different size and shaped feathers. They seem to be little axe beaks that are like just like migrating off, and they're just like making little cheering sounds. And hey, what are you doing? Not uncommon, but
That one
you
has
just see,
teeth.
yeah, you just see like the big human teeth, like hello, my honey, hello, my honey.
So majestic.
So majesty.
Quiet. I'm gonna go watch the sky.
Thank you.
Are there stars? Yes. Okay. I thought you had said there were. I'm gonna bid him a good night and I'm gonna go unwind.
So
Sit down on
you
my
spend
chair.
your time unwinding. After about 8 hours, basically for the Uari, a new day would begin. So you start kind of running through your morning paces of you check your fields, you collect any fruit.
Whip the kids out of bed, send them out hunting. Good, we can go fuck around with spiders.
You check your spider silk. Do you have a spider silk farm, or do you have silkworms, or do you not do either?
I just got food.
So you guys start doing that, and 8 hours later, you guys rouse. Surprisingly black. Nothing dreams, like nothing. But as you wake up, the sky hasn't changed color. It seems to be still that sort of like shifting, almost nighttime scape
I think
above
I
you.
inhaled pickle hair. Pickle
But you all come to consciousness,
I mean, I think he's here.
and still in the same place.
Come back with a basket with some fruit in it. Get my quarterstaff.
Like he's feeding the velociraptor, like.
I mean, here you go. For all intents and purposes.
Right.
Kinda is.
Hand them out to everybody. Let's roll some. They are.
Yeah, I'll send the girls out in the field and then me and Viv will go to the spiders. That's what so I'll be in the
You trying
spider
to
house.
Yours seems to be like a comfortable looking glowing white color.
If you have any
Okay.
gray ones, I'll trade you.
I will look through him.
The fume fruit. Yours seems to be a darker color, and yours, Ciliana, also seems to be a sort of darker color.
Like
you remember
dark
though,
or gray?
like dark, like a darker color. You notice that you know though that he's already outwardly stated he doesn't like the nightmares. Do you guys eat your fruits?
No, I'm sitting there trying to put my face
He's
through
trying
it.
to die.
Trying to dream that. You eat?
I wanna-
Oh my god, I just
You
see
eat?
Zongak like putting it on the floor and just like
I'll start like trying to poke my finger in it, but not
It's
like.
very stretchy on the outside. It's like a weird combination of tough, but when you start to give into it,
I would like to
starts
slide a hand. Like I want everybody to see that.
that you're like trying to get in
Just
that.
holding it like.
Yeah, go ahead. You notice that Kusu left
Oh,
some time.
nice.
What was that?
What's that number?
5?
5?
Yeah.
No, passively everyone kind of like sees you just like fingering this fruit.
Dream fruit.
No.
I don't think that's how you died.
It's like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Not big.
Oh, then I just
Don't
eat mine.
eat it.
Oh.
Yours tastes nice and sweet. Yours tastes bizarre. A combination of things. First off, that nectary taste is still there, that thick sweetness that comes with it. But suddenly there's like an overwhelming change as it starts off really nice, and then there's like these peaks of like gross and nasty, and then like ash and fire, and then you get a familiar taste of like sulfur, but then it's like sweet again, and it just keeps switching. So you're like, it's like a roller coaster of emotion. Yours is the same one.
Right?
Same way. Yeah, it keeps
They're gross.
changing.
They're so gross.
I'll take it.
I give it to you.
Reminds me of my home.
Here, this one's good.
Oh, you can, I still have some. I dig in my pack and I'll pull out a ration. You can take them.
She pulls out dried meat, which you guys don't hunt, so. Not
Maybe
really
you
sure what
should
that is.
trade him some so he could try it.
Yeah.
I'll bring a little piece off.
He likes
I
the
tried
safe
yours.
ones.
I take it.
Okay. So you guys eat for the morning. You see Luca pop out and begin kind of like checking his.
So we do chores now? I'll go walk the
Would you like us to
fields.
help with your chores?
You know that I can always use some help. If they want to walk, if they want to go through fields, want to learn something, they can send over me.
Follow me.
And you take them out and you lead them down to the thing.
Wait, you take us to her place?
Take you down to Yana's.
Down the road a bit to the left.
She needs help.
Oh, okay.
Bye.
Well,
Luca runs away immediately. So you're greeted by Yana outside currently tending
No,
to.
I'm in the hut.
You're in the
house.
Oh,
spider
okay,
house.
yeah, sure. Oh, you're in the spider house.
Yeah. Which,
So
which bib?
as you
Yeah.
oh, you sold 200 biddies. What is up, buddy?
No.
Oh,
Well, thank
200 biddies. Who do you want to give that ambrosia to, sir? Take your pick.
Get on this.
At which point, yeah, you see, so there's a door open to what appears to be the equivalent of like a chicken coop. It's a small, completely enclosed, there's only one way in, tiled, slatted roof up. It's on stilts, but it's smaller, more compact, and as you can hear movement inside, sort of like a darker interior. You're currently holding one of the flower sticks up, and you see that the walls are currently crawling with spiders, and there are these spindle edges that they're currently creating webs through, and Yana's in the process of collecting this
Knocking
thick,
spiders out of them.
yeah, this very thick-looking multicolored thread that they seem to just like create.
Do any of
And
them
there's a-
have shoes?
And there's a 5-year-old in the corner poking spiders.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, 7-year-old. 7-year-old in the
Poking.
corner poking,
Damn it.
just like pushing them
I was
across
wondering
the
if
floor,
it was like
giggling,
the
pushing them
old
across the
school
floor,
like Mickey Mouse
pushing two
videos
into
where
each
the
other and
spider
watch them
had,
fight for a second.
the
and
shoes
then-
on for no reason, and it was just hairy.
No, but in the far back you do have a spider that's about this big, and it's like furry. It looks like a cartoon spider with like the glowing red eyes, and it just kind of moves around, but its thread is much thicker. These ones are used usually to make the cords.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like when you bat him out of the way, and it even has a little face.
And then Bib, who's 7, is in another corner, and he's just like playing with a couple spiders, like knocking them off the wall and then putting them back onto it, like poking them, watching them run. Another one. He likes the spiders.
Which
We were told to help.
Luca
Luca ran away.
Of course. Sure. Yeah. Let's see him.
Just still bolting.
Yeah, so there's always the fields. They need to be tended, looked after. The girls can show you what to do out there, and if you're overly bored with that, my house can always use hiding. Free children. Run amok.
All right.
That's Marvel.
You can help here if you like.
What do I do here?
So far, we keep the spiders out of the wheels and make sure there's no kinks in the line and try to separate out the blues because a couple of people in town like the blue better than the rest.
How are you with spiders?
You're in a room literally teeming with them. You're in Thunderdome right now.
Not good.
So as you see this tiefling, right?
Yeah.
This young.
Didn't realize the room was covered.
He's just like.
Like it starts dawning at you.
Did you even see my reaction when you started describing the room?
Uh-uh.
Just a huge shiver went down. I was like, ugh.
Luckily,
Okay.
that's on camera.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's a. But Yana gives you a brief instruction of how to do it, and you're pretty artful at batting them the fuck away.
The big ones can be insistent, but they're just friendly.
You do see in the back wall, there's just this like massive one,
Take out my crossbow.
like the size of 2 hands, like.
Please don't stab my spiders.
Oh no, I'm just gonna smack them.
Do you want to stay here or do you want to go into the field?
I think I'll go in the field.
Now that I know what to do.
Yeah, I just needed it to draw it, but
Fair enough.
I asked for their sake.
I will, yeah.
Just trying to be nice. It's fine.
Stay and
I'll
do
stay
spider
here.
things.
Oh.
Well, thank you.
What do you, I don't know.
I'm fine with spiders. They are delicious.
So you regale
Doing spices.
you regale Celiana with what to do. At which point she remains behind.
He's
to
not
do
allowed
that.
to
I
stay
could have
with
made a
her.
pie.
Huh?
I could have made a pie. As long as it can fit in my hand.
It would have been a tiny pie.
Yeah.
So you take
I knew
them
it.
out.
I knew it
The
was a big
which
pie.
one?
You
Which
made
one
a
of the
tart,
wee
it's
ones
not
are
a
gonna
pie.
help them? with the
Whoever's in the field, both the girls are in the field right now. It's both Glee and Hito.
As you guys approach, they kind of stare at you.
12 and 9.
They seemed more like amazed. The 9-year-old kind of like runs around the outside of you, doing that like flying the
Thing.
plane, like running around you.
Can I trip her with my tail?
Can you? Yeah, go for it. Make a.
My baby! Holds out.
Actually, no. I'm sorry. Which you just want to put it out, superimpose it. As it kind of like slithers out, there's this moment of, and then it runs over to the tail, and then goes. It just like flops over.
Oh, I had to do like.
So the 9-year-old's currently
Intentionally
laying on it, and it's just
She,
like
stepped on it.
Hito.
Take that back.
and you just slide it in. It's like and it like rolls off. And he's like,
It's a
A
good
very
one,
mom collect her, bring her over to Glee and sit them in front of me, and then explain basically the same thing I explained the previous night,
right.
and instruct
you saw
them
that
to
out there?
tell them to
You saw that out there?
The
I was walking.
Glee, the
I was
older one,
taking
is
them to
like
the children. She's like
Oh, okay.
telling them what to
the
do.
little one's like going cross-eyed for a minute. You kind of gotta do that, and then
And just explain to them that, need this, anything, call for me, etc. And there,
Glee's like, am I gonna teach him?
you're in charge. You know what to do.
I'm in charge. Turns to you too, like hands still on the hip. The little nose is kind of crinkled up.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Checking her nose. Make sure. At which point
make a mind scope.
she begins to kind of regale you with, we're looking for the ripe ones, which are about, she's like, this big. She's like giving you like exact, she's like, this one, we're looking for the bad ones.
So we
and
eat the bad ones, right? Immediately, meat.
we eat
Immediately.
bad ones.
Thought you asked for volunteers.
We do.
He likes them.
She kind of like looks to you, kind of like nervously. You know that you already eat them specifically because it's not it's kind of like dream diving. It's not an actual physical act of eating it.
It's
You
consuming.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
consume it.
It's a little different.
If he shoves it in his mouth, it's gonna pop.
Demon comes out.
Rips the
Sometimes
ear off.
it's ripped in half.
You laugh, but that's the way it works. So
Really?
if you could, they need to go to an elder, someone who understands to dispose of them. So we have a bushel for them, separate to keep in the lid.
Are they
And-
color coded?
No,
All right.
it's the one with the lid.
So you comb the field in lines. They pretty much regale you with how to do it.
I'm leaving the
I
girls
don't
to
know
it.
what to do
Trust
in
me
here.
now. And I'm sitting. Yeah, you're the
Oh.
spider.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do.
You're
They're
keeping
just
the spiders
all
out of
over
the
you.
out of
Oh,
the
that's what I
wheels,
do. Okay.
and then you're
She's
separating
trying to
out
politely insist
threads.
to stay away, and they're just.
I need you to
All
make,
over.
I need you to make a sleight of hand check, please.
Okay.
And for you two, I need you to make
That's
investigation.
not great.
Cover the spiders.
9.
A 9. As you're in there, you're like, oh my, oh my. You lose a couple. Luckily, there's a lot of them, but some of them get
Well,
kind
there's
of stuck
wheels.
in the wheels.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like cogs or.
I thought you said they like ran away.
no.
Oh,
They
man,
get
I'm running
smooshed. They don't leave the
away.
house. They live in that house. They're very
damn
happy
it.
there until they die.
It's a
damn
spider
it.
master.
Investigation check, brother.
Would you
Mine was
roll
a
a
10.
D8 for me?
And it's an 8.
So as you guys begin walking the fields, you're walking in tandem with the girls. They first start off by showing you like, this one's good, and then they like
Spider she killed.
Aw,
pop it
gee.
out and then they put it in the
Is
basket
that
or whatever.
half your spider?
And it's like a slow
Oh,
process,
okay.
like children, they put the basket down and then they walk out and they like
Oh.
grab one and then they come back and they're like,
Back in the basket.
and then they go out again. It's a very slow going for them, and they also don't seem to move with any sense of urgency because this is their daily routine.
I'm gonna switch my cape. to the front.
Less
Pull it out like a basket.
honestly.
Yeah. So between the two of you, as you search the
six.
fields, you don't find any that appear to be rotten in this in their personal field. You look around, but you gather a decent bushel of about like 8 to 10 that are good to go, like ready to eat. They're different kinds. Song occasionally like tries to get one, and the littlest one hero is like, no.
Hito.
Hito.
Heto.
Oh, Hito.
Hito?
What? Oh.
To the team by vote. Oh, who wants it? So you gotta vote
needs
for
it?
it.
Oh, yeah, we
Who needs it?
Who needs it when it comes up?
It's an ability check.
Oh man, do we want to re-roll her finding shit ability? Not killing
Oh
spiders?
yeah, no, I don't want to waste
Who
my
wants it? Or you want
I
to
feel
give
like
it? You want to get
you
it?
should
Yeah.
have it.
Feel like I don't know. You bought these demon.
You want to give it to
I
Luca? Is that it? Is unanimous? Everyone wants to give it to Luca.
I'm not giving
Sure.
Luca.
All right, Luca. Here, let me give you the little token.
Supernatural couch.
1d4.
I'll use that Grimlock's shaman staff to try to like keep them out of the wheels.
Okay. The little like leafy one. Like
Yeah.
Kill 4 of them.
yeah. Oh well, there you go. You're convinced though that yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of spiders.
Yeah, he just said that there's like 200.
Yeah. So you guys spend the morning
my God,
conducting
Marie!
these kind of small chores. Once you're done, you kind of stand around. I'm guessing you're cleaning the house then. Since,
Yeah, so I was gonna watch them as they go off and give them my poor baby's kind of speech to myself.
Right.
And then, well, I guess I'll tidy.
Which one did you send out? Gathering?
Both of the girls. So
No, hunting. Not the. You said one of them was hunting.
In the spider hut.
Oh, Bib is just hanging out the spider.
Oh,
He likes
okay.
being in there.
All right.
So yeah, there's a
Yeah.
7-year-old in with you, but he pays you no mind. He is more interested in the spiders than anything else in the world.
As you
Crunch.
as you're like trying to get some of them, as you're getting some of them, you just feel like a tug on you, and he has like a handful of them, and they're just kind of like crawling over his hands. He's like goes back and sits back down
That's my boy.
and starts like he's like brushing them off back into the web.
Good job. I
Just
think.
playing with them
Oh.
again. Like him.
Yeah.
He's him.
He's what? Oh, kiss. Yeah, he's not keys.
So, you guys spend most of the morning conducting your standard chores, an average day for the URI. As the little one runs out, heads back inside to go. He's hungry. He just wants snacks. He wants attention. As you're standing there, though, there's a strange moment where you feel jarred almost, like your whole like head and everything. You know that swimming feeling you get like right before you get vertigo? It's like that. And as you kind of like catch yourself and you catch your breath, there's this pounding in your ears, this like thick, heavy like fog. And then in far off at first, you hear some small noises, followed by a voice you have never heard before.
Stop.
Is this thing on? God damn it! Shell coffee.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm divining
Exactly.
for coffee.
I'm excited.
Hello,
Oh yeah.
Celiana.
Oh yes.
Hello?
What?
Hello?
Oh my God! There's a real person here.
Hey.
Stop touching me.
Oh, what? I'm not. Is it the spiders?
No, they're really here.
I
Hello.
see them too. I see you too.
You don't see anybody. You just hear them.
She's
You
spiders,
no,
then
she
I think,
thinks
right?
it's spiders.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
you very
I know
clearly
that
hear a
first.
voice.
Yeah.
Is that one
Could it
spider
be
like kicking a
spiders?
spider in the corner
Could
and
it be
the
the
sides
spiders?
full?
Oh.
Judging from the sensation that you're getting,
Oh, okay. It's a man.
it's in your head.
Okay, it's just in my head.
Very
Thank
echoey.
God.
Okay.
It's not
Very
spiders. Thank God.
Hello?
Yes,
Who is this?
I'm Apricot. That's what my friends call me.
Where are you?
Where are we?
I don't.
Stop touching me.
I'm not.
No, it's rude. Yes, I'm really talking to him.
Apricot.
What?
Where are you?
I'm in the Athenium. Where are you?
Do I know that's in Alara?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in you are a village?
What?
A village of
Semra.
Semra. Did anybody tell us that yet?
Yeah. Well. Oh, maybe not. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Very secretive.
Well, no, the elder would not
he,
have told you
he
that.
opened with that. He
Yeah.
was like,
Okay,
you
okay.
can stay in Semra. As
Well,
long
I
as
don't
you
know.
want.
And if you didn't, it's retcon.
Okay,
so
yeah,
there.
yeah. We're in Semla. It's a village of Uari. They look like
That doesn't sound real.
It's real. I'm real. How do we get out of
We
here?
are here. We are here.
Oh,
First off, where are you?
I'm in we're in a dream sphere. Well, we came out of a dream sphere and now we're in the dream plane. I think. I don't know when.
A what?
Oh.
Stop! Let go! Stop touching me.
It's just shale just fucking hitting
Yeah. We
I
are
think
in
it's
a village
Tiresias.
Me too.
of things
Where are
that
they going?
consume dream spheres. I think we're in.
They can eat these things?
Well, we're in. I
It's
think.
pretty hard. You remember that outside they become
Yeah.
Yeah.
like actual
Well, here
like
they're-
Crystal balls.
They're
Yeah.
soft. That's not the point. The point is, we're in. I think we're in a dream plane.
You're in a dream plane.
Yeah. How do we get out of here? How did you-
That's a good question.
How did you talk into here?
Oh, honey, that's my specialty.
Well, so if you can talk into here, can you interact with it here?
No. I don't even know how to get there.
Well, how did you?
We're gonna look it up here in a minute, aren't we, Tiresias? No, they can't hear you.
Mhm.
Stop it. Shouting doesn't help.
Well, how did you? How are you able to talk to me?
One of your little friends brought me a circle. And I used it to contact.
It was a skull, wasn't it?
Is the dream sphere.
Oh.
The other one that Ma ran away with.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, we're all imprisoned.
Right. Ma's the only
Oh, that's
one.
right. That's right. We stayed.
So can we eat this thing?
Don't do that. No. No. Well, it's only fruit here, I think. In the dream.
Gee.
Why'd you tell me to eat it?
I'm telling them.
It's a fruit here, but not out there in your plane. I don't think. When I had it.
That's confusing. Hey! Stop it. I'm sorry, not you, someone else. He's being very rude.
Is there anything that we can do to try to
Someone
get
you
out
need.
of the dream
Yep.
sphere? Or dream plane?
We're gonna look up how to get you out of there. But it's gonna require some assistance on your part.
Okay. What do we have to do?
Well, hold on, I haven't even looked it up yet.
Well,
I'm gonna call back. Can I call back? Are you still gonna be here?
I don't have anywhere else to go.
Okay. Well,
I'm trapped here.
I'm trapped in a room full
Good
of
luck.
spiders.
Thank you.
alright, they're trapped in another dimension.
Yeah, they're
I know that's crazy.
It's like when you
What?
call your grandparents
Yeah.
and hang up.
I don't. Can you hang up, please?
What?
You're
I know I can still hear her for
yeah,
some
I'm
reason.
here. I'm still. I can.
No, I don't know what she's doing.
I can.
What is she wearing?
All of a sudden, just kind of like you feel that like pull away and you're out.
No, I don't know what she's doing.
There's just silence.
I'm gonna stay
Somehow.
there for a while.
Somehow that silence is even more sad.
How is the little Uari doing now that he's heard this exercise?
No, he
No, he
ran
ran
the
out.
house
Oh.
for a snack.
Oh yeah. And for
He was inside for a snack. He's inside for a snack.
Yeah, he need now. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. That's how I was.
So,
when I was a kid.
you find yourself waiting. After about the midday-ish, you notice that a lot of the Uari begin coming out and they start to head towards the large field as they're going to do their walk of the big like sort of communal.
Before we hit midday, I'm poke my head out, and call the kids in, and them tell them to come back for food.
feed them real quick. They gather up.
I don't know if I did a good job here.
Is it on fire?
No.
The spiders mostly tend themselves. Sometimes they're stupid.
We call that selective breeding.
The Zombiac walks in with a whole bushel of
Oh my. Okay.
about 8 to 10 of them.
I'll take the bushel from him. Open the lid on the other bushel for the rotten ones. Anything?
No.
Okay, cool. I'll take it over to a pantry, single door pantry. So if you guys enter, it's a very stout door, like 2 wide, a little bit low, so you might have to duck coming in if you're tall. And then when you come in, there's a large like big communal room for family. It seems like the house is a tiny bit too big because we built it to expand, and then the worst happened. And then around.
Sorry, I just heard it.
And then around the edges, there's like little wall sconces basically with those little plants in them. So they've got the glowing leaves and those, and there's like 12 of those in this room, making it relatively well lit, so you can see if anything needs to be cleaned. And then there's a small, so basically you come in the door, and then there's a small chest by the door. It's closed and locked. And around like the edges of the room, you see a door that leads into a bedroom. That's the kid's bedroom, and then a room that leads into my room, and then another door that leads somewhere else. And by the kids' room, there's a little pile of not stuffed animals, but woven things. So like reminiscent of animals, but not necessarily exactly. They're made of silk, and they have form to them. And if you stare at them for long enough, you can see one of like 4 different animals in it. But it's kind of a thing, and they're just the kids' toys that are there. A couple blankets and a very nice rug on the floor in the middle that takes up most of the floor. No blue in it. It's reds and oranges and yellows and browns and greens.
I just had a moment of like extreme out of character depression because this is the first. I have a tiny tapir creature in a fucking game that owns a house, and I don't own a house. I don't have a house.
Welcome to The Sims, man.
My fucking character has a house.
You go down to MLK. There's some really nice sad shacks you can buy
Bet
there.
there are.
Yeah,
That's a bad part of town for those of you at home.
they know. You said the street name.
But yeah, and so inside there's not a kitchen there, but there's an area of it that is clearly like there's a table, but there's no chair. It's a very low table, and there's one singular door that's clearly a decorative door. And I'll walk over to that and I open it, and it's shelves of pantries, and then on it there are dream spheres that are categorized by type, basically. So they're just.
Can I attune to a dream sphere fruit? No.
You can't attune to a fruit.
I don't know if I would try.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
That I would get paid, man.
Depends on if you're just shoving your fist in there going.
But yeah, so any preference? And I'll grab 2 of the good ones for the girls, and a small bad one for Bib, and a nice size bad one for myself. Any preference?
Dark ones.
Good. Oh, bad. All right. I'll grab him one out of my like personal little corner.
Right.
These are really good bad ones.
That really tastes like burnt popcorn.
Anything's fine.
Anything.
Anything's fine.
Spider.
Give me a normal one.
I was gonna look for like really good, like saccharine sweet, like sheep with cotton candy fur,
Right.
who ride around on the top of rainbows, like
Yeah.
the best possible dream a 9-year-old could have.
Well,
Like,
actually,
give that to
do
him.
they actually like? Are we hungry after we eat these things?
No, they think about
Sustenance.
Yeah.
I don't know like how sustainable
Good,
they were for
bad,
us.
Stuff it
boring.
out. It's really good.
Good, bad, or
It feels
boring.
like a good
Alright.
day. That's what it feels like.
Take a gray.
Eat it over.
You know, like
Cotton
batter
candy
on your phone.
burrito.
Cotton candy.
You guys eat your fruities?
Yeah.
They're delicious. You guys, afterwards, you kind of wind in. The kids all gather up, seemingly wanting to go and join the walk. Shall we? Through the fields. You guys all kind of get up. You join, just kind of like confused, but also you guess. You just
Come.
follow
There's
along.
nothing else we can do.
Time for the village sing song.
And then you do
Time for
notice
the ritual.
you see a group.
What?
None of that.
Lay on the table.
You guys all you guys all came back.
What are you?
No.
See, he went like Whoville. They went fucking
Yeah.
horrible Christmas critter.
Hey,
fucking.
I
So you guys all little faces. You guys all gather up outside. You see the village elder, and he's kind of like standing there. And as you guys approach, oh right, that kind of
Is that
like
his
sudden.
voice?
No, that's a sudden realization moment.
Oh.
It's internal.
You're still.
Inside he sounds like that.
I was getting out of this little thing.
Oh.
Welcome back. I forgot you were here, to be honest. After my unwind, just sometimes get a little loopy there. All right, everybody.
I like to get.
Can I have everyone line up, please? And we're gonna do the walk of the fields. So we're looking for rotten fruit. If you find any, just please let us know immediately.
All right. And then everyone kind of starts getting online. He walks behind because he's already slower than everybody. They don't really count on him to look as well. So everybody can make investigation checks as you walk the field. Ciliana, you're going to be at disadvantage, please.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Ooh, eat.
Oh, that's a good disadvantage.
My disadvantage. Whee.
10.
13.
Wait, you said investigation?
13.
I rolled the same thing I rolled yesterday, which is a 9.
Investigation?
Yes.
6.
6. You guys sweep the. Oh, I gotta get the crowd. Okay. You guys sweep the fields together. Nothing seems to be striking you as out of the ordinary. So it's a good walk, successful or whatever. As you're about midway through, however, there's suddenly a very pungent wave over the back of your head as you just hear this. Is this thing on? Hello?
I'm gonna try to go. Like, I'm gonna run into like a deeper part of the field, like away from everybody else.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
We're used to people just running off screaming.
Nice. Code the saving
This is
throw.
great.
11.
You cannot control your faculties enough to actually move. You're so overwhelmed by the
Can
presence
I-
that you're.
Kind of go over. Like, are they in like rows of corn?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go over to the side and like.
You're not. You just can't move. You're kind of like I'm gonna
Oh, I
walk
can't
away.
move at all?
Yeah, and so you're like,
Okay.
never mind, because I don't feel like I could stand.
Okay.
Hello.
I'm here.
What?
I'm here.
What is I doing again?
Helping
Your
me
inside
get out of
voice
the
is
dream.
loud.
All right. What?
How long has it been since we talked last?
An hour or 2,
Oh,
3 hours.
okay.
What?
I-
No. Stop interrupting me. There are people here. Ciliana?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna try an experiment.
Okay. Excellent.
This could potentially not work at all.
Okay, that's fine. At least you're trying.
If it doesn't, then your life's pretty much there.
Fucking shut up. Anyway.
Wow,
I don't
holy
say
shit.
that.
I feel like you say that.
No,
Can
I
he
don't
that would
say
be
that.
awesome.
No.
Here's the question. Can he hear her thoughts, or is it just what she vocalizes?
No, just what you both want.
Ah.
At which point he's like, alright, here we go. We're gonna send you a scroll.
Okay. Where?
I'm gonna try to home in on you. Whether or not that works is a whole nother thing.
I got it.
Some guy in another kingdom's like, I got this weird scroll.
However, I have some bad news. I'm gonna need you to build a tuning fork.
How do I? Can you give me instructions for that?
I don't know how to build a fucking
Can
tuning
you look
fork.
it up and then? I don't have any way to.
This takes a lot of effort.
Well.
Alright.
There was more. Say-
No. Well.
So here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
You're gonna have to get the scroll. Hopefully you get it. And then you're gonna have to make a tuning fork. And then activate the scroll with the tuning fork and your friends. It's pretty easy.
Do I need only the friends here or the friends on the other side too?
Just your friends wherever you are. You have more people there, right? There's like 3 of them.
Yes.
How many people did he leave with? Hello? Is anyone here?
Hello? Me?
Oh, they all left. Okay. It's just me in the room now.
Apricot?
Yeah.
Will you tell me how to make a tuning fork?
I don't know how to make a tuning fork.
Can you tell me and send me the, or call me?
I mean, this is exhausting. I can try.
I'll pay you on the other side, or something. I don't know.
Service you.
No.
No.
After like
Great
there's a
librarian.
pause.
Yeah.
I mean, we can try, but why don't you just, ask one of those, what were they, the little
They
monsters?
don't. No, they're not. That's rude. They don't know.
Whatever, ask the people.
They don't know what.
Everyone knows how to make
They
things,
don't
God.
even know what paper is. They don't have paper here.
What?
Yeah, I gotta.
That's crazy.
Oh shit! I
Okay.
gotta work on that today.
We're gonna start the process when they come back. When everyone who left just comes back. They kind of left me in the room by myself.
Can I walk now, or am I still?
No, you're still stuck there.
Damn it. Okay.
A couple of the UR are kind of like looking at you as you kind of talk out loud. At which point he's like, all right, after I'm done here, I'm going to go get them, and then we're going to send you the scroll.
And the
So start working on making a tuning
Well,
fork.
I need to know how to make the tuning fork. Can you tell me that?
Bye. And
Oh,
then
God.
the
Click.
connection
God
drops,
damn it!
and you just feel the back into yourself.
What the fuck?
He probably doesn't do dimensional teleporting things.
No.
Also, like, he's also the kind of guy that if he needs a tuning fork, he'll go buy
Yeah.
a tuning fork. Like,
Do I know anything about tuning forks?
are you okay?
Make an intelligence check, please, or a history check, see if you can remember
I
how.
think
Is that a natural Uno?
No.
No, she threw her dice away and then rolled a 20. Roll a d20.
Damn.
Why did you throw that one away?
Because I was rolling 5s and 2s. What was that? What am I doing?
In a history check.
18? Yeah, 18.
18.
That's amazing.
That was good.
You know that there are methods. However, some are going to be easier than others to achieve in this area. There is a method where you can basically like pour it into a mold, or there's a method where you can actually like
What do I
just
pour it
forge
into?
in like a bar and cut it out. But
Like iron, or what do I need?
you need some sort of metal. And
Any kind of
specifically,
metal.
you need a metal that can resonate.
Honestly, any kind of metal.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a magical tuning fork. Just
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
tuning
you just
fork.
need a tuning fork.
Oh, I
A
thought
fork
you
that
meant like
tunes.
something that holds true to the plane, like something that resonates with whatever it's being in.
That's why it's being made here. That's
Oh,
why they're not
yeah,
sending
okay.
one. They
Okay.
could go buy one, but
Yeah,
that wouldn't do
send
them
you
any
it.
good.
Okay.
Useless.
This just got awesome.
Okay.
On the quest for tuning forks.
Yeah.
So there are a multitude of methods to make one. Of the ones that you know of, the easiest one would be try to make a mold and then pour. However,
In fact, you can make a mold out of sand. And there is a coast within walking distance.
Because
I will. Where's
the walk's endless.
I can move again, right?
hmm?
I can move again.
There's a
Yes.
part to this that's
I
even
want
better
to go
than that.
to Yana? No.
Iana?
Yana? Okay. I want to go up to Yana.
Yes.
Uh,
Did you find anything?
no, not yet. I have 2 questions. One, do you know of any metal here?
Don't even know what that is.
What?
Like hard.
Rock?
Like harder. Is there any shiny things in the rock?
Gemstones, but you find those like quartz basically.
Okay.
Make a quartz tuning fork.
Also,
take a long
can I
time.
leave to go make?
Oh, for Kusu?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. I didn't want you to think I was giving up my duties, and I'm good.
Well,
seem
that is
distracted.
that's ended. They've already crossed the end.
Oh.
As you're
They're done
standing
with their
there,
thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
shit.
doesn't take that long. There's a
Oh.
lot of them. They all come out
Yeah.
together to
Oh,
work
shit.
on it.
Well,
60 people.
It takes a
working.
community.
okay. Well, then I'll leave and
Takes a
go
village.
make paper
Build
and
a
think about
doghouse.
how to get metal.
Go gather some shit. And,
Yeah, I'll do that and think.
I mean, you can't make metal. You gotta find metal.
Yeah. Make metal.
While we were doing the walk, did we get to see her stop and stand there for a while?
You would all notice that she just suddenly stopped and started
She
talking.
Follow her.
Well, you
Yeah.
probably could. You could see over all the planets.
How far am I into gathering materials for paper?
You're not at all yet.
Just
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like,
Well, I left.
You would have to start.
Okay.
Because she has to be excused so she could do that. And I looked at her quizzically and said, "Yeah."
I guess I
Go-
have 4 children
go
now.
for it.
Can you go to the bathroom? Maybe.
Can
So-
you
Yeah.
I.
So you're gonna go gather materials for paper? They all kind of follow along. They run up to you as you wander off towards
Yeah.
outside
How you
town, I'm
doing?
assuming.
I'm gonna make paper. Yeah.
Are they
Were
heading out
you,
of town?
you okay?
Don't get eaten. And then I'm gonna head
How
back
far
to
out do I
my
have to go?
children.
You have to go out and actually look for materials. It's not like you just find everything you need right there.
No, but
You're gonna have to go out. And
I could do it
explore.
like with wood and stuff, right?
Yeah, but you have to find suitable material that will
Would that
paperify.
chick wood? Would that chick's wood work?
It's already been like made into something.
Does it have extra wood?
There's also
Oh.
trees. You can just go to a tree.
Nobody's got extra wood.
Yeah, you gotta go out. You
Nah.
can go out to the trees.
Everybody's
You
got
can
just
go
enough.
get plant fibers. You're also gonna need other things like scraps of cloth, which they have.
This is Minecraft now. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. I
You-
need
and
cloth.
your crafting table.
Yeah.
Well, we just need 4 blocks of wood.
Okay.
True
Yeah,
story
that's all I
though.
need.
I mean, try getting that without an axe.
I have axes.
Ah, there you
So
go.
do you guys. You have
You
Claw.
just punch the tree, right?
They have
It's
wood
fine.
or stone
Claw.
axes. They
Stone
use,
axes,
They
yeah.
use stone ones.
Claw.
Yeah, but she doesn't have one.
She doesn't.
I have a dagger.
What do you want?
Cloth. What else do I need? Use a cloth.
You need cloth. You're gonna need plant fibers. You're gonna need bits of like bark and wood.
And some sort of thing that has
Press
a
it.
distinct color to it, like a blue or a black or a brown or a
Oh, for
red.
the ink.
To make the ink.
Ink should be.
Okay.
Fist axe.
Mhm.
Punch everything. In
Yeah,
there.
It's
And
first night
something
Minecraft, man.
Something
Yeah.
to mush it.
You're gonna need to soak everything in water together.
So you need a bucket.
Bucket of lava. Just bring it around.
I actually wasn't making a Minecraft joke. I was legitimately just saying you'll need a bucket for that water. And most of these materials you would have seen
the wall.
in the
So you guys follow along with her.
Wow.
And are you asking her stuff?
Yeah, I was trying
to make
to.
cloth.
Good.
And
I
then,
have a bucket.
so what are we doing? Why are we, what?
I have tools.
Well, I said for
Okay.
Kuzo, I would make paper.
So why were you talking in the wood, or the tree plants?
Oh, there's a man named Apricot who's working with Tiresias.
That name does not sound familiar, but you do know that Tiresias knows of an abundance of different specialty wizards.
Wait,
So.
why would Rashid know that?
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah,
he's
why would
not
I know
Shale.
Oh yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, I knew it. I was like, he's
You don't
not
know any of that.
Shale.
I was like, wait a minute. Why would
None
Rashid
of
give
it.
two shits about Tyrese?
Yeah, I was like,
No
I'm not
idea.
from this town. I have no idea about
Why
any of this
is
stuff.
Tires the hero talking to you?
That was
Well,
Cameron
it wasn't
the
him.
hero.
It was his
Well, no, you
friend.
know Tyrese is a hero.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that's right.
that's all Zongyak knows.
Oh,
Anybody.
it was a friend of his. He said that he could possibly get us out, but we have to make some things first.
Okay,
What
what
do
do
you
we
need to
have to
make?
make?
We have to make a tuning fork,
What's that
Okay.
made out of?
metal.
Why don't we
from
go to
here.
caves?
I'm scared. to do that.
I mean, I could go to the
I
cave.
lived in caves.
Well,
You
that
could
was
probably find
not
some.
Dreamscape.
Look for 'em. Try to.
We
I mean,
look around.
Dustin, my crossbow bolts, what are they made of?
Metal.
Metal? We can just melt a couple of these.
It has to be from here.
Just immediately.
Yeah.
Damn it.
And then we have to get. They're gonna send me a scroll.
How are they going to send you a scroll?
I'm not sure. I think directly to me.
Okay.
It just shows up in my cleaver one day. Like, oh,
They're gonna search
It's just
for
case
it.
scenario.
Slowly
Your
comes
mouth
up.
just goes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, again, we can
It's
hope.
not rolled up like this. It's rolled like after unrolled.
That'd be the worst.
we have
I
to,
feel like the worst would be it pops in her chest and she's like, I
Dies.
have it.
Oh, the scroll!
They're like, all right, let's get that bitch.
Stones
We
are
have to
in
make
me.
a fork. We have to
Sorry.
take.
Go on.
We have to activate the scroll with the fork and with you guys.
Okay.
But the first thing is, well, I'm making paper first.
Oh.
And then
That's the priority then. The paper.
I promised somebody, and the scroll's not here yet, so
Don't you just
But we're
pull
gonna need the-
paper out of your thingy and write down how to do it?
I don't have paper. Oh, my book.
Take a page out of your book. You lose one page.
Exactly.
50 pages.
You can make paper.
We'll make sure.
Okay, you could do that by yourself.
You make paper.
um,
We can go look for
well,
metal.
I want to help, but I just want to start the process.
Okay, but you don't want to go to the cave. See.
Well, that, but also, we don't have the scroll yet, so we can't do anything without the scroll.
I feel like we can make the fork before the scroll arrives.
We could. But this paper
Wouldn't that be
is-
more?
That way we don't spend more time here than we need to.
And eating all of this person's food.
Yeah, he's
Which
gonna
is
eat all of the
Some-
food.
I have rations,
You have.
You
four
have
meals.
rations.
I have no
share.
food. I
He's
ate
gonna
all
be
the kale.
really hungry in
He
a
knows
couple
she-
days.
You know, Rashid's food.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Um,
Fuck.
but
Been a
I-
minute.
What did you call him?
Shale.
But I promised that I would do this.
Okay, well you do that. What I'm saying is we can split up.
I don't think we should.
Do you need anything?
Yeah, you do. You have a
Maybe there's
list.
metal. Oh, not for the paper.
No, for the paper.
Oh, you want to help me for the paper?
Yeah. What do you need for
I
it?
need cloth and plant fibers. And,
Are you with them?
I need some
I went
pot.
home.
I need
No, sure. Oh my God, no! I don't want to spend any time with them if I don't have to.
rocks and water
Why do you need rocks?
to flatten them.
Okay. Well, to get plants, you could use this. And I hand her one of my silver dip and
Axes.
axes.
Oh, dude, cut things down. I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do with this? Yeah.
Also, this to strip thing, you can use this
Yeah.
as a blade to strip
I'll
it.
take the axe.
Separate the
About
bark
that.
from the.
Just an
It's
Oh,
axle.
the
yeah.
little guy.
It's like a hatchet. That one has the least amount of blood on it.
So if we go out and look, do we have a way for light since it's
I mean,
It has a-
everyone else uses flowers. We could
So
just
we just
carry a
use
bunch of flowers. I can see in the dark. I don't give a shit. But
Well, we should probably tell the guy that we're staying at his house
Yeah.
what we're doing.
yeah,
'Cause
I mean, I don't
pretty
think he'll
sure
care
he might
much.
panic.
but
I lost him.
All right, what are you guys doing?
did we broke? Oh god!
I head over to his house. Just start
Oh
on the
god!
door.
Is your door open? Or... Is there... dun, 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 dun. I hear slight little noises inside.
I'm here for the pickle.
What are you doing?
Is there any like trees around, like close to the?
Not close, but there are trees nearby. Like not like, you know, it's like sparse. It's sparse and spread.
Danger zone.
Yeah.
Like a savanna
Okay.
is the best way to put it. So they're there, but they're just like
That's like
far
the
apart.
closest tree.
Like 100 feet away from the town edge. They center their towns around.
You're
fields,
still
not
here, right?
necessarily Around.
Yes, I'm with you.
we're gonna go to that tree.
Okay, I'll go with you.
Leave for the tree.
Okay. You guys exit out. You let him know.
We're gonna go look for materials so we could go home. Also, do you know where there are any holes in the ground or caves?
Make a history check.
Of course, that's the one that's really good.
I need this information.
Yeah, boy, I needed to know. So 1d4, right?
There you go.
19.
19.
That's 5. Yeah.
Okay. So as you kind of sit there for a minute, caves.
Where do I not want to go? Where's the one place I'll
Ever.
never, ever, ever?
You know that there's like hills further out. You've never gone that far, and no one you know. I mean, people that would know the nearby topography, you know about those individuals. People that have wandered for one thing, Naka the village elder has traveled before.
Kuzu.
Yana's traveled before.
Yep.
Niche is the one who's survived the longest outside of town, so she would probably know the most. But you know that there are hills nearby and stuff, but you don't know of anywhere specifically where there's like caves and stuff.
There's hills.
You just kind of like,
Come with me. And then I'll step out and close my door.
Okay.
Then
I'm at
lead
my
him-
home at this time.
I will lead him to Niche first.
okay, so you're gonna take him further into town. You guys, as you guys walk out, you can hear all manner of creatures kind of maneuvering and making sounds.
I would like to stealth.
Okay. Let's see how stealthy you are.
Hey,
I
how you doing?
Okay, you want to stealth as well?
Sure, why not?
Do you have a modifier?
We don't know what that's
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you'd updated those.
Okay. So both of you kind of like get down, get low, and start walking. And a couple of the Uari that are kind of like that were watching you leave, they kind of like come up to the fence and they're like, and they watch you like crawl away, and they're like, "What are you doing?
Damn it.
What's up?"
I think you did great.
Yeah, apparently not.
And as you guys are kind of moving around, they're like,
Well,
like one person
do I
like kind of
hear
like crouches behind the fence. They're not really sure why. Little like trunk
Yeah,
over it.
Do we hear that when
Yeah.
they say?
They're like,
Kilroy style.
right.
We need to go get some wood from that tree.
Oh.
Sink down again.
Okay. As you begin to move farther in, you do notice that there's like stumps left over from where they've harvested a lot of trees to make a lot of their stuff.
Cleared surrounding area
Yeah.
to make it more visible.
There's a
It's
couple
just pop up.
potholes in the ground where you can see that they've ripped up stumps and kind of they try to use as much of the material as they can.
They're stumped, but they're stumped enough to like cut.
There's some
Okay.
kind of scattered
I'll-
as you move
I'll
out.
grab
You can
Rob.
actually see it as you crest through the grass, and you can see where these
Before
things
like Raw gets too much further, I'll grab.
grab them. Like, oh,
And it would be
Okay.
make an athletics check, please, to start hacking away some materials. And that
Nice.
is where we are
What? No,
going.
no, please. What happens?
What was that?
What do you think it was?
Oh,
Wait, what was it too? Athletics?
Athletics.
yeah, athletics.
Yeah,
It's a 0, isn't it?
Yeah, it's natural one.
So it's a 0.
Yeah.
No, it's one.
It's a 1.
Okay.
Fuck!
Smack.
And that's
Smack.
how Celiana lost her hand.
Celiana is just like stabbing the center of it, like not like carving pieces off, but she's just like hitting the
Why you
center
hurt
of
me
this
so, you stupid
stump.
thing?
Just like slapping into it, and she just can't seem to figure out like this is not how I should do this. She's like, and she's getting tired.
You grab her
Thump,
shoulder and just
thump,
kind of like
thump.
pull her away from the stump.
Did it hurt me?
Okay, no.
Okay. Oh, that sound. Oh no! No!
My favorite eyes.
Gotta look at stuff, see what that is.
Manticores.
Oh.
Able.
Yeah.
Dream bees.
As you're
Giant
hacking,
snakes.
you hear this.
Wait, he hears that or we both hear it?
Yeah, you both can
I'll
hear
stop when I
it.
hear
You're
that.
duh, duh, and then you hear
Yeah, immediately look around.
Yeah.
What?
and then much like the Velociraptor, you just see this
No!
snout
What
with
kind
two
of
little
snout?
tusks, darkened
no.
fur on the front. One eye's looking up to the sky, the other one's looking like straight down to the ground. Its tusks are like a little bit longer than normal, and as it like curls back, its little lips, you see like blocky teeth, and it's like what?
See what?
Yeah.
What?
It appears to be some sort of boar, just staring at you. What?
I just wanted to get some wood.
What?
I don't think it really understands you.
Smiles with creepy like fucking blocky teeth,
That's
human
not
teeth
okay.
that are like pearlescent.
King.
What?
Bebop. Rocksteady.
I almost don't even know what to do. I'm like, oh god.
What are you gonna do?
Zalnoodle.
I mean, it's not.
Do I
it's just
attack
chilling.
it?
It is.
Oh,
What?
don't attack! It's not doing nothing.
Is there a rock nearby me?
Yeah.
Should throw a rock in the direction.
Okay.
Try to make as much noise as possible in that direction.
Alright.
Throw it as hard as I can.
As you throw the rock, it's like what? Run off. That is where we're gonna end today's session. That's gonna be the end. So we end with Celiana and Rashid attempting to gather some materials. Yana returned home. Luca is taking Zongak to go visit Niche. And that is where we're ended. So join us next Tuesday for the continuation of
I'm
the adventures in the Dreamscape. We're going to go down for a couple seconds, and then we will.
Pop back up.
We're going to pop back up for talkback. So give us a minute to kind of do some teardown.
If you have questions, because this is a real question episode.
So,
this is odd, and
at
weird
the end
and
of-
different.
At the end of every episode, we do a talkback where you can ask questions about Dungeons & Dragons, you can ask questions about the campaign, the characters, whatever. And then if you want to talk about some things, or if you want to ask us questions about your game or like rules or whatever, feel free to do so. We do this for as long as we have time, and then so we will be right back, guys. I hope you guys had fun. Thanks so much to Noodle1202 for the follow. I noticed a couple people popping in the chat. The Flea28, thanks for hanging out with us, man. I hope you're enjoying the show so much. And I'm gonna dip off, so I'll be right back, guys.
You can also ask what the benefits of subscribing to the channel are. They're numerous. You should ask about that.
There's like 2.
And we're back. We are back up. Hey, everybody.
Hello!
All right.
Hey, howdy!
So let me go ahead and slide into this seat again.
Dude, having that volume bouncer on that is so nice, so we know that we're transmitting audio.
That's
Yeah,
that we can actually see it now.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said before, at the end of every session, we do a talkback. We
for those of us who can stay.
For those of us
Yeah.
who can stay. So we answer questions about the campaign, about characters, about the
About
world, about
anything,
lore. Yep. We like to hear from you guys about what you guys, what campaigns you're running, what characters you're playing, interesting story hooks or whatever. If you want to ask us about ideas for traps or about whatever, feel free to throw it to us and we will respond. I hope you guys like the new setup. I hope the sound is okay.
If it's not, please tell us what's wrong with it.
So we can.
It's really hard for us to do straight calls because I've got an out. I'm a bit of an audio guy, not a ton of an audio guy. So we have an output on the board, but it looks like the way the computer runs it is a little different than the way that your ears hear it through the board itself, because it's run through the computer itself. So if you hear something that you think is a helpful suggestion, please share it. Please let us know, because it's the only way we know how to change these things. We have a shitty little analog board. What brand is that, Harbinger?
That's the Yamaha.
Oh, that's the Yamaha? I gave you the Yamaha?
Yeah.
God, I'm a nice guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I can't believe I gave you the Yamaha.
I mean, I can believe it. Actually, I'm gonna try this one.
Yeah, pop it in. Take a line in, man.
Watch it fucking turns it off and shit.
Punk. No, it won't, because that's how we recorded those lines earlier. But yeah, you should be able to get stuff from us. Does it sound good? Sound terrible? Sound poor?
Actually turn up the.
Did you?
No,
What?
Let's begin the days of
To the monitor mix. There should be a crank for monitor mix top right, I believe.
Yeah.
Say monitor.
Monitor mix is there.
Did you get anything from it?
Return. Hello.
Yeah? No?
Not
Check.
good.
1, 2. 1, 2.
No, I can't.
Message. Looks like so.
Sounds better. Sometimes explodes when you guys get louder. Yes.
Yeah, we're still figuring out how the best way to apply the compressor.
Has it been there since the break? Is my question, because we just turned the compression up to try to mitigate.
If
some
it
of
wasn't enough, please let us know. I know. Yeah, you hearing the echo? Yeah, tell me about it.
You
I
guys
live
seem
in
quiet.
audio land sometimes.
You guys seem quiet, though.
Yeah, of course you seem quiet.
coating myself in honey.
Because I'm so close to the microphone.
I'm telling you, dude, take your treble down a bit, turn up your bass, and just listen to the sultry
Uh-oh.
sound of your voice.
So well, yell some.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You're a bad person for doing that.
What?
Because it's a rock.
You guys like the Dreamscape so far?
Yeah.
I do.
Fans.
I am very excited for this. I was actually really worried once Apricot showed up, because I was worried that this was going to become like a 3-shot. And I'm just be like, but I want to exist. I have so much invested in this character. I made Yana such a real goddamn person.
Oh, damn it.
Holy crap. Was that too much? Too bad? Not good enough?
What it got.
Did you blow out your eardrums?
I
If it
apologize.
makes you feel better, I am also wearing
Sorry,
headphones.
Oh,
headphone
nice. It
users.
shows
Also-
you like,
Yeah, it shows you were broadcasting.
So
it
far
shows
away.
like drop frames. And
OBS has always done that.
Oh, I didn't
It just wasn't as visible because it was a much smaller thing.
Huh? You can't hear it. Well, quick touch.
Stop touching the
Ooh,
microphone.
look at it.
Microphones are not for touching; they're for talking into.
Do you
No.
tell this to people?
I tell that to people at work all the time. I've said that over the God mic through an entire auditorium full of people. I made a dude turn bright fucking red. I hate you so much right now.
I gotta actually.
I understand that you're adjusting it,
There we go.
but it
Oh,
infuriates me. Can you hear that?
Whose car is that?
It's not
I
mine.
don't know, man. It's a parking lot.
Was
full of
that
cars.
too good, Huso, or not good enough?
Yeah, was that a good holy crap or a bad holy crap?
But other than that, you should tell us about your campaigns, Huso. I want to hear more.
Crank the compressor up about 10% on each one. Also, anyone else in chat, if you like talking, awesome.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. We want to know what you like, what you don't like. We want to know what you think. And especially if you have questions. That's what we're
I
all
am
about
going to
here is
hunt down
questions.
them.
But, and also, if you don't want to chat, if you just want to
It was
hang out,
bad.
just have this
It
on in
was
the
loud.
background, that's fine. I do that all the time. I feel terrible. But
I'm sorry, buddy. Apparently, it's too loud. Blew out so it couldn't even.
Flash.
Actually, though, this distance is really good. You guys are actually very clear now.
are we?
Yeah.
Were we not before?
It did not seem that way.
Feeling low.
Oh, the audio coming through is what you're talking about?
Just
Yeah.
thinking
I don't know.
of
We might need to do some more
True.
extensive testing.
Well, one of the biggest problems with this group is that her character talks so quietly.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a character.
Okay, it can be a character, but speak from the gut,
Best
not from the
20.
chest.
Best natural
Yes.
20 and worst natural 1 in your game career. Worst natural 1 is staircase. Easily-
Staircase wasn't even natural ones.
No,
man.
it was just bad rolls, though, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a severely traumatic natural one.
I've had a severely traumatic natural one.
Where?
When we were fighting that dragon in the caves, it was the three of us,
Uh-huh.
and I had to roll a save, and I did not have to roll that high. The save DC was stupid low. It was like 12. And I rolled a 1, and it just killed my character. It killed Patak. Dead. Remember when he got barbecued? He got ruined, and then one of the dragons had to cast Revivify to bring me back to life? Or some, or not Revivify. It's whatever one you have to ask permission for. Are you willing?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's Revivify, I think, right?
It might be Revivify. I can't remember. But yeah, I straight up went from like 3/4 health to deceased.
Resurrection?
Probably Resurrection.
Yeah. Yes,
But luckily, we had some dragons that were palling around with us and had questionable morals. They were like the worst children we had to teach. And luckily, one of them was there to bring me back to life because I was dead.
I think that was Dopey.
Yeah.
Dopey?
Yeah,
I was murdered by a
because
dragon.
Dopey was a druid dragon.
Maybe true.
Also, not quite a natural one, but the same character in one of our older campaigns had wild magic. And somehow, so when you have wild magic and it fails, you have to roll a d100. And if you roll a certain number range, you get certain, like certain things happen. And they can be good, they can be bad, they can do control, whatever. And somehow, 3 or 4 times in a row, I rolled in the same range on my wild magic check. And my dude, who was a gnome, kept getting taller and taller and taller, but he stayed the same weight. So he just like a piece of taffy, and it was a gnome stretched out. I think I started at 3 feet tall, and I was like almost 5.5 feet tall by that point, and I just I was terrifying because I kept rolling. It was like between 20 and 26, and if it was odd, you shrank that number of inches, and if it was even, you grew that number of inches or something like that. And I kept rolling the grow ones in that range. So I got 2 inches, I got 5 inches, or 4 inches, and whatever it was. And so I just kept,
Yeah, we went from 2.5 men to 1 man and a
1.5 men, thank you.
What about natural 20?
Natural 20s. I don't think I have any of those there. I'm usually DMing.
You've had natural 20.
Best natural 20 ever was on Halroy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the zombie town, and I dimension doored across a
Oh.
city and attacked somebody while falling through midair with a hammer and connected the wolf, the assassin we were pursuing.
And then she
I
whooped
took
our
him
ass.
with me, and then she kicked our fucking teeth in and dipped out and left us surrounded by zombies and falling cannonballs.
That was a good fight, though.
That was my favorite fight we've ever done. That fight was so good.
My favorite was, same area is when, what was it? Rustbeard blew up half the city, and I was a square away.
1 square away, yeah. I remember.
I think my
And he
favorite-
still couldn't find me. They're like,
He just
Oh, no.
hid so well.
Oh, no.
What?
I think my favorite natural 20 was when I had to do death saving throws when what? Kevin's being mean? What do you mean?
Because you purged the link. That's intense.
Oh, if it was that's just the auto perch feature, which is phenomenal. It means that people can't post porn links in our chat.
Fantastic. Oh no, sorry.
You see, you got to be careful with those spaces. Kevin's a dick when it comes to spaces. He really likes his kerning.
Yeah, I rolled 2 natural 20s in a row when death saving throws when that thing, I threw the lamp at the thing and then it cleaved my shoulder really hard. Yeah, and then I rolled 1 natural 20 and then I rolled another one right after and then
You had a sword in you.
That was a surprising encounter.
Yeah.
I didn't expect you guys to.
I'm gonna throw
No,
a
you
lance
guys.
at
Punch
this
that
big
thing.
dude.
I was
did not
trying to
expect that.
science.
That was not science. That was.
It was science. Cause and effect.
I thought that was a fantastic.
Actually, you know what? I might take it back because I think my favorite natural 1, natural 20 combo was, or no, it was 2 natural 20s. That's what, or not 2 natural 20s, but it was very, very high rolls on both parts. But it was you and me burying the corpse of the sacred deer.
Oh,
when the
yeah.
dude from the train, the wagon train came over. He was like, "What are you guys doing?" And I lied to him, and he intimidated her,
Nice.
and he intimidated them, And so the dude comes over, and the way that Soul described it is he was like, so yeah, this guy comes over the wagon train. This one guy who's obviously telling the truth, and this other guy who's just telling him to leave, and he knows he has to.
That was Bill.
Yeah, that's my uncle.
That was Bill.
Oh, that was not you.
Yeah.
That was Bill.
That
You're right.
was funny as hell though.
Yeah, because there was no sacred deer bird.
Oh, that's right, because you had the you had the dagger that kept making you attack me.
Yeah. They kept trying to
Kept
kill
stabbing me.
Any other
Yeah,
neutral
the
ones?
obsidian
Not
dagger.
I don't think I've ever had
Life drinker, right?
Yeah, I don't think I ever had any like big ones.
epic ones?
Usually you make them.
Yeah. You witnessed them, but you.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any good monsters roll 20s or something? When you're like, this will go fine. Oh God, he murdered them.
That's fucking the one that hit me in the arm. The same thing. You're like,
Oh,
it's
he
fine.
did
I can
roll a
roll
natural
high.
20.
You're like, it's a natural 20.
Because he had the giant saw thing. I'm gonna bring those things back by the way.
You have them still?
Or don't.
Yeah, I have
Wait, are
I know what it
those videos?
is. I know what those monsters are. That's,
You mean
You also have pyramid head.
well, we had personal request to bring back the floppy arm monster.
Yeah.
From the
from the
From the
yeah,
show.
from the ER.
Oh,
kept,
yeah.
like, flopping over the walls and
Yeah.
dragging people behind him.
Yeah, that was my choice. I really like that one.
Ew.
I had some
What about the
fun
Scarecrow?
special monsters. What
Well, scarecrows.
Oh, no, not
are
the
in-
scarecrow, the broom.
Oh,
Wait, no,
broom.
was it Scarecrow?
Yeah, broom Sam.
I thought there was
Well, the broom was
Scarecrow
from my
did
uncle.
too,
No,
though.
Yeah, that was from his
the
uncle.
broom was
Yeah.
Bill's campaign because
No.
that was the campaign where I was the orc Gaston paladin.
Then it was the scarecrow in
And I
the
was
closet that
Rupert.
was like kicking our ass.
The one that slapped you? The one that was hanging on the wall?
I think, no, I thought there was like a cat in
Such
the
a
closet.
good little story.
Yeah, it was during the.
Abused and left behind for later.
It was during the future campaign.
Mhm.
We were. It was the jackal wares.
Yeah. That was a fun encounter too.
Yeah, because they took my form, and the reason you guys noticed it is because it wasn't wearing the backpack.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's me, Bubba.
And there was a scarecrow in there.
Yeah, the scarecrow was hanging on the wall, and it was people were like, "Why is the scarecrow here?" And then they walked away, and it slapped somebody and knocked him out instantly. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I don't think it was a player character though. I'm pretty
Is
sure
that the same area
No, I
as
thought
the
it was-
Night
I thought
Stranglers?
It was like Sam
No.
to do it with her.
No.
The Midnight Stranglers.
Midnight Stranglers. That's what it was. I remember.
That I
Okay.
shouted
That was in
out
the
at the
ship.
top of my lungs.
Yeah, from the beginning. That was the adventurers exam. Was when you guys. Were
Oh right, I was only there for half of it. That's why I didn't see that.
That stuff was fun. I really liked it.
Fucking, I
Yeah,
had.
I showed up with priors and they just let me in.
It was a fun.
Yeah,
fun
that's
bit.
I did let fucking Young try and cheat off my paper, which he still had a hard time doing.
It was good. That was a fun.
He also
fun.
punched a monster made of lava.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that did not go.
That doesn't work out well for you kids.
I
So, do you have any natural 1, natural 20 stories?
Yeah, tell
Yeah.
us. Do you have any? Because
What you got?
hell yeah.
Bring it on.
natural ones. So.
You're a bad person.
I muted my mic.
When did you?
Before I did that.
Are you
We're
trying to
back.
fuck with them?
No,
Are
I
you
muted
trying
my
to
own
stop?
mic. I muted myself.
Does he need to lean into it? Though?
No, not at all.
No, it's clear when I move forward.
I've noticed you kept doing it like every time you did
I don't
the
know if it's clearer,
Kermit
but it's
sound.
definitely something.
It is something, that's for sure. I think I need to turn it up. Turn it up. Yeah. It needs to be like way over here in order to pick me up. Way
We'll
down
do the
there.
Kermit voice.
what's
with
your-
you.
It depends on what your gain's set at, and that might be just you hearing your own
Hi,
echo
Ho.
because you have to overcome
Hi,
the
the village
vibration
over.
inside your head.
Huh.
So you may want to keep yourself.
This
a
is my
tiny
son,
bit lower.
Tupac.
This is my not now. He's cool.
Did you like today's episode there,
Oh, I
Mr.
fucking
Houston?
rocks.
Were you having fun? I love your reactions. Though,
No,
to
we
some of
already
that.
been Christopher from the Clan Brown.
This is literally the most ridiculous thing I got confident.
I honestly, I was not sure. I was making this character last night because I was like, I need this character, and I just kind of did free association, and I am so
You're like, I'm a mom
excited
now.
to play Yana.
Yeah, she's cool. I like her.
Yeah, no nonsense mom, and don't you fuck with her kids.
I really liked some of these. Just the reactions were worth it.
I don't know why. They just
Honestly,
got me,
this is
man.
probably the best character-to-character meeting scheme we've ever had.
I like
I'm gonna
that.
kill him.
'cause
There's a fog cloud. I'm gonna save that
Yeah.
child.
I like that we have like the other perspective. Like we never have the monsters perspective when we go into a new place or like the people.
Oh, into a new village.
Yeah.
Well,
So it was
Zongak
cool
always
having
has
like,
that.
Yeah. But it was cool having like their perspective. Like, oh shit, because we're like, hey, we're just rolling up.
We got a
here.
small paragraph. Read out loud, sir.
Yeah, I can't see it.
The only one I can remember was I was playing a short elf who had to slide between the legs of a teammate in order to stab an enemy in the crotch. It was magical. Wait, was that a 1 or a 20?
It's fine. Yeah, it wasn't one. I don't think if you tell me.
I think it was a 20. You would
Or
have
it
caught
was a
somebody.
1 and he just ended
I
up
think it's a 20.
Give him 1,000 years of death.
Hi ho! Welcome to my town, my peaceful little village.
How does it sound?
Smells good. Smells good.
Smells
Sorry,
good.
I hate myself.
Put some effects set on that. Always go for hall reverb. Oh, we got more.
With my players.
No, it was a 20. Okay, good.
Yeah. Really.
Just stab
Big
your
bad
body.
guy in the campaign playing. Okay.
But wait, what is
There's
he saying?
if you're a fan of 20s and ones, there is a wonderful comic someone made. I don't know how much of it is based on truth and how much of it is based on fancy, but it's about a gentleman attacking an orc commander
Yes.
and
And then they end up
rolls
together or
natural
whatever.
ones and ends up accidentally seducing him and being seduced by him. It's a god. I can't remember what it's called, but Nat
No.
fails
Yeah.
on
No,
that.
he's like,
too.
okay, fine. I'm gonna roll to seduce him.
And then he rolls
Rolls
a 20.
that- yeah,
Yeah.
he's like,
And then like it was a strange time to be sure, but then they ended up together or whatever.
So this is why you can't give people
I'm sorry.
soundboards.
I was gonna
I'm
ask
sorry,
you
I'm turning it all off. I apologize. Lord, I apologize.
What was I gonna ask?
I don't know.
Ooh, something about.
Jonita.
I have no idea. Juanita?
Means just
What?
Chica bird. Chica bonita.
Casabonita.
Bonita.
But yeah, yeah, I had fun with the day.
Food and
I literally have the
That's
quest
the
is
atmosphere.
entirely up to what you guys can come up with. Everything that happens
Yeah.
from here on out is up to you.
That's why I like you making paper,
I can't remember
honestly.
what it was. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I like that a lot
I feel like
actually.
nobody wants me to make the paper.
Kusu definitely wants you to make
Yeah,
paper. And
Kusu
Yana
is.
is curious.
He's gonna fight Val
Oh,
Hazard
if
tomorrow.
I'll
Any tips?
Make the paper.
Yeah, he moves. So if he rears up on his hind legs with his hands in front of his chest, he's going to do a cloud right in front of him, and it's going to spread out around him. So get back whenever he does that. Also, if you have anything that gets rid of what is that fucking disease
Oh,
or
I know.
whatever? I always call it influenza. I know.
Poison?
No, it's not poison. It's the stuff that's in the rotten veil that cuts
Oh.
down your health.
Are we gonna fight a gazebo?
Effluvia.
It's possible.
There may be a
It is
gazebo in the
Dreamscape.
village.
Yeah. They're like, oh, that's our guardian. Like, looks out on people that come in.
Animated gazebo.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just excited for some of these enemies that can pop up.
Makes sense.
It's the same thing, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna fight Val Hazard.
Also, he has a lot of hearts that you have to break. So good luck on that. If you want his armor. Some of his weapons are really good, but mostly just stay mobile. He doesn't move as much as Kushaladora, Daora,
She pulls out a dead mouse too.
or Teostra, but
What's happening?
he's still pretty
We
quick.
need him.
I think that's one
And
of my
B,
favorite moments.
aggressive. B, aggressive.
I asked him one day, I'm like,
I think I
"What's
have
the
a
mouse?
few
I don't
miasma
understand.
jewels. He has
And I
jewels
think
against
I don't think
miasma.
he.
Yeah,
he's like, it's whatever he wants.
that'll help a lot,
I don't think he
but it's
clarified.
not gonna
Slot it in.
Right.
Put it in here.
because there's two of them. The miasma one I think stops you from half your health just disappearing.
Or getting one shot by it.
Yeah.
Do you understand Sprocket?
Sprocket. Me?
Yeah.
Obviously, I understand it.
Clearly.
You don't understand
I
the
do.
fucking mouse.
I-
No, you don't.
Honestly,
I know
think
his
that's
motivations, his goals.
You
his
don't.
dreams,
You
his
don't.
aspirations.
No.
One of my favorite moments in this campaign so far is Ma looking for friends to be like, but he's talking to someone who doesn't exist, and Theta pulling Sprocket out and being like, this is Sprocket. Let's have a conversation about this. And Ma just going, I fucking
I
can't.
don't understand.
I'm going to walk away.
But you don't understand that either. They
I
don't.
understand
No, you
Sprocket.
don't. I can
everything.
tell you don't.
I understand
So-
Sprocket very well.
No, you do. That's your. The point is for you to understand it.
I
But
know
like,
everything.
you don't know.
I know everything.
You don't
I am
know
all
about the fucking
inclusive.
mouse. You don't know that deal.
I like that was sufficiently creepy line. That was
What?
sufficiently creepy.
What was creepy?
He was asking me about a deity name. A curse or swear or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The text message.
Well, that was sufficiently creepy. Was it though? Was it though?
Yes.
Good.
It's dark on like 3 different levels.
Just wait
I
till you
like
guys get to the water. It's gonna be fun too.
I bet.
It's not a threat.
Everything's a threat from the DM.
Why is this water jello?
You guys don't like the axe beak?
Oi, what are you doing? Dude, the entire time you're like, I saw a bird with a human mouth, and immediately my brain just shut off everything else you were saying, and I saw like 3 seagulls flying in my imagination, and they're like normal ass seagulls, maybe with a little different colors to them, and then one of them just has a beak with lips on it and a mouth, and he would just look around and be like, "Yo, what's going on?" But that's like its call.
Oh
That's
no!
it. It doesn't speak
Now how I
English.
pictured it was just a seagull head, no beak, and just a
Mouth.
human mouth, just lips. Yeah,
Like a Wallace and Gromit character.
Yeah.
yeah. It was unsettling. That's why I'm like, nope.
What are the benefits of subscribing to this channel? Wink, wink. The benefits of subscribing to this
Thanks,
channel is
Emil.
access to the sub-only Discord, which we post contests and we talk in regularly about all kinds of
I
stuff.
spend way too much time there, to be completely honest.
So if that is something you're interested in, you should
There's like
jump in
always
there.
someone in there.
There's
Also,
always somebody in there. We talk about all kinds of stuff.
we put character ideas. We work on accents, stuff like that.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
also
Yeah.
have.
We also have an area where if you want to share ideas that you have for things, stuff, creatures, characters,
Yeah.
you can slap it in there and we can take a look at it.
also
and alter
magical
as we wish.
items.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Which,
can send
if you want us to put them into the game, as long as they're not
crazy.
crazy game-breaking bullshit.
And if they are game breaking, we will change them if we like them.
Also, sometimes there's sub-only one-shots. where you
Yep,
play
Sub only
them.
one shot sometimes. Yeah,
There have been precisely one of those.
there's been one of them, and it was canon to this storyline. So
Yeah.
And it was long as shit. It was
Yeah.
scheduled to be, what, 4 hours?
4 hours.
And it was
each
like,
seven.
7?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It got to the point where I had to go to work at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So those are some of the benefits. Also, there's a place in there for you guys to check out homebrew stuff that is specific to this campaign setting that you can take and adopt to your own campaign setting if that's interesting to you. Specifically races, magical spells that are specific to my campaign setting that you can obviously take and send to yours if you want to.
Additionally, this guy's really this guy is really good at building stuff. In general, he hates OP bullshit. So he'll take things and he will give them positives, negatives. He has a reason for everything he makes. So if you have a question about a character race, etc., that especially that someone else is proposing to you, if you slap it in there, he will tell you all of the reasons why it's bad or great, and give you suggestions for, okay, well, that can't happen, do this, and that's great, but only once a day, things like that.
Also, most of the races and stuff that we do, he bounces stuff off me before we even throw it up there.
Would they, since we've DM'd and stuff, would they want any of our like homebrew items?
Possibly. Throw them in. If you have homebrew
Yeah.
items, though, throw them in the game. They could end up here. They
Yeah.
can end up in this game.
Seriously.
My homebrew items, they're going to stay where they are because I broke them.
I broke my
Made them broken?
toys. My fancy
I'm-
toys.
I'm excited. When I finally get time, this is opening weekend for a show. I work at a theater, if anybody's new, and so I've just been run fucking ragged for the past 2 weeks. Set's up, set's getting painted, as it were. I believe all the paint that we're putting on it is on it. Everything's edged. I'm actually starting to be kind of proud of it.
What the lady said. Did she come in?
What lady?
Set.
Oh, the set designer? She's been here. She's been sanding, spackle, and
Nice,
painting. And,
really?
yeah.
Is that
Well, I do all the other shit.
is
Yeah.
that a thing that they usually do or no?
It depends on where you're at. But usually, yeah,
Was she
they're
pleased with
chipping. No, nobody's pleased with it. It's a shitty set. It's terrible. It's the cheapest quality material that exists, and it has me banging my head against the steel doors of my work. But I've made it work.
Just make it work.
All on my fucking lonesome. That's not true. I've had a couple people help me, which has been very, very beneficial in my life. But like 80% of the set was me. It was very infuriating. But anyway, so I've been really busy, but once I'm not busy, I'm looking into it because I have tons of ideas for basically useless flavor items, and I would really enjoy throwing those in a campaign. So you may see me when I've got time, like when I'm working shows and I have to sit there and do nothing. I was thinking I would like a singing sword that only sings like commercials. But it'll be like in-world commercials.
I like it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of all this stuff.
Where's the beef? Sorry. It's just a
Stop
campaign.
milking.
Commercial. No, more
Coming
like
down to Matt's, what was it?
Yeah, it's-
General Store
come on
Emporium.
down to Theo's Potions.
No, it'd be like
Pet the mechanical fox.
wacky waving and floating up 2 bang. It's like
Or is it like jingles?
Or like an impotent sword. So
It just
it's
goes,
no, it's a perfectly impressive sword, but as soon as you intend to use it, it just goes like.
I'm making a attack roll.
It's-
Flops again.
No, it's a flail.
And then you flail.
All right. So I think on that note, we will call it right there. I have these
Thanks for hanging out.
and
If you
then
enjoyed,
mission
let us
myself.
know. If you want to talk, cool. If you don't want to talk, also cool.
Um,
I'm an
He said
a
the sounds
lurker.
better this year.
Good.
You're welcome.
Good. Thank you for the feedback. We greatly appreciate it. We really
It's not like we have 3 really expensive mics.
do.
So, with that being said, thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. I hope you enjoyed Gone Creasy. I hope you got that Discord link. If that's not your thing, you're not obviously forced to go in there. But I just wanted to make sure you got it because I sent it a while ago and I wanted to make sure you got it. So, thanks everybody.
If you don't have access, PM him.
Yeah, send me a message and I will definitely get back to you. As soon as
Or
I
honestly, PM any of the mods in this channel. Mods will get
Sorry, I
you.
keep looking at the monster hunter one day. I'm like, I didn't say it the whole time. But it just like blows.
I want to try something. So I'm gonna walk up, but as I walk up, I'm gonna mute this thing. So I'm gonna mute.
Does it mute everything?
Oh wait, I'm gonna bring everyone else down before
Yeah?
myself since
No,
I'm
what?
still
No, do it.
narrating the whole thing.
God, no, what?
Okay.
Ah, he's gonna kill it.
I'm
It's
used to
still
being
showing
muted.
that I'm talking, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm confused.
Why?
See?
I see it. Yeah. I don't know.